Revan, myself, and QuasarNova of the Hollow Tesseract.
Hello.
So
yeah,
normally
we're back on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday,
or
yeah.
kind of it's kind of Wednesday, but not really.
Well, it's Wednesday where Quasar lives. It's still Tuesday where I live.
That's true. That's true. Stop giving away too much information, dude. Come on. Like, just because I'm in Asia.
I mean, I was just gonna insinuate you live in the future, and like there's some time travel shenanigans here with the Tesseract, you know. But okay.
Oh, Dreaming Bumblebee's here on our stream.
Oh, Dreamy Bumblebee. You know what, Dreamy
really
Bumblebee? Late. She is if we had a Patreon for her channel, Dreamy Bumblebee's our #1 patron.
Yeah. 100%.
No one else matters to me now.
Oh no.
I'm kidding about that.
Don't say
part.
that.
I'm obviously, but yeah, we might stream tomorrow a little bit late, and honestly, we've decided like we're gonna kind of stream sporadically. Honestly, it's kind of more fun that way because our schedules are kind of hectic. So whenever we have a little bit of time, a little bit of downtime, the two of us, we're just gonna stream.
Yep.
And so here we are.
It's gonna be pretty random like this, and we're gonna be more #relatable as much as possible.
Oh God.
That's why I said hashtag.
We'll be a bit more laid back, and you'll see a difference for those of you watching this.
Yeah, for sure.
But
those of you who are on our Discord, you might just see that we are reflecting normal selves on Discord.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll figure it out as we go.
We're just gonna play it by ear, basically.
Yep. So where did we last leave off? What happened last stream?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember?
I can sum things up. Lila met up with D'Angelo, the Nosferatu detective, who's investigating a murder, and it turns out the murder is being done by some Thin Bloods. Lila meets the Thin Blood Primogen, who doesn't get along with the council very well. And
yeah, I almost caused the entire neighborhood to wake up because I decided to. Yeah, I fed off the guy who was walking his dog.
Yeah. And then Lila met up with the guy at the church. She got an invitation from church, and she felt that power of true faith. And then she talked to a guy named Benoit, who basically, we don't know who this guy is. Benoit, tomato. But you know what? To respect French culture and French pronunciation,
it's Benoit.
So Benoit, we don't know who he is. Well, I know who he is. Quasar doesn't know, and you guys don't know who he is yet. But Benoit basically told Lila. He seems to know a lot about the history of Kindred, like the ancient tales of Cain and how Kindred came to be. So there's that, and then the last thing Lila did...
He's also kind of super shady, because he doesn't seem like he fits into Camarilla or the Anarch.
He is definitely...
And he's kind of an outlier.
Shady, yes. And
it just seems like he's there, and he exposed us to the power of...
true faith.
Purity, I guess. True faith.
True faith, yeah.
Exactly. Yep. And how certain people of true faith, no matter what religion, can't be a deterrent to vampires.
Yeah, because vampires will feel like a burning sensation when they go near them and stuff. And it could be anyone of any faith. It doesn't have to be an imam or a priest or a rabbi. It could be anyone.
It could be anyone. A child with a lollipop.
It honestly could. And there are instances where a child with who has true goodness and faith, they can a kindred will feel like burning sensation. Could also be an atheist or an agnostic.
Yeah, anything. Anyone with true faith of whatever they believe in.
Yep. And the last thing was Sophie, Lila's caretaker, told her to basically do a favor, talk to Kaiser, get some information. Kaiser is basically a Nosferatu guy, a vampire.
He's so shady. He's like CIA black site all over him. Like that's what he is.
He travels in a limo.
CIA black site as a person.
Exactly. And Kaiser had Lila do a favor. Lila did the favor. Kaiser gave the information. Lila then brought the information to Sophie, and then Sophie with an address. And that's pretty much where we left off. So without further ado,
I was just gonna say that. Without further ado, let us begin.
It's funny because I'm living in the past, but I said it before you. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's some time travel paradox
time
thing
travel
that
paradox?
I don't want to deal with. It's some grandfather paradox.
We're not playing Back to the Future.
You're like my
let's
ancestor.
Let's not. So, we have several choices here. We can talk to Agathon. He's the Tremere contact. Somebody was tailing Lila. In the last session, we found out somebody's following her. So you could go do this quest, somebody's watching me. We could go talk to Hope again. We could go talk to D'Angelo again. And we could also make first contact with Tamika.
The Gangrel.
The Gangrel.
Or with the magic guy, right?
Agathon.
The blood magic guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll
thing
let you
is,
make the choice here.
I think last stream we said we're gonna start off this stream with somebody's watching me, because I think that's kind of important, and it's also like a side questy thing. And I mean, I have half the night left. Why not just figure that out, and then
also,
the next
I'm gonna
night
remind
I can spend
you,
it on.
Since this is your first time playing this, I'm gonna remind you: be careful with how to use your powers, and keep track of how hungry you are, because last time you went into frenzy and fed and killed somebody.
I killed someone near my place, which gives away where my haven is, which is a bad idea.
Well, we don't know if it gave it away, but it could. It could. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if some FBI guy decided to triangulate my position, he could find it if I had at least like another 2 corpses.
It wouldn't be an FBI guy. Most likely somebody would notice this and they report it to the police. And since the police are tapped, everything is tapped by the alphabet agencies, they would then catch wind and it could turn into a mess.
Alright, fine. NSA, happy?
NSA, FBI, CIA, FSB, every single alphabet agency on Earth. Okay.
CDC, CIK. I don't even know what that is. I just said CIK. It could be some spy agency, and now I put a target on my back. Damn it. Let's just go.
Alright. Somebody's watching you, part 1. Recently you're feeling as if somebody keeps tailing you. Time to confirm your suspicions. Okay. Someone is following you around. Has been for a few nights, maybe longer. That can't be a good thing. The only question is, what to do about it.
Okay, I don't want to tell Sophie I have a problem, because, like, why would I drag her into my own shit? I'm gonna provoke the stalker and see if I can get them to show themselves, and then I'll confront them.
So, this is me. I'm not suggesting you take a decision anyway. I'm just saying, what's the problem with telling Sophie?
Because, I mean, I don't want her to be like, oh, you have, like, a fly on you, so, like, what do you want me to do about it, you know? That kind of thing.
And I'm gonna give a little bit of a counterpoint here.
Okay.
Recall that a lot of eyes on the city are on you, and people know that you're working for Sophie, and she's an important individual. All I'm saying is, okay, if you want to provoke her, we're gonna go with that choice. But I'm saying that don't feel afraid. Sophie's literally, you don't know who your sire is. For all intents and purposes, Sophie's kind of like your sire, and a kindred is supposed to go to their sire, ask them for help. Like, she did teach you how to hunt, like all of these things,
so,
right?
Like,
she's the one who
supposed to be my guide. Okay.
She's supposed to be your guide. Now, if you feel now at the same time, knowing all of that, if you still feel like, you know what, you want to try to take care of it yourself first, then yeah, we can do that. So, with that said, still provoke.
Maybe in that case, just for this time, I'm gonna go with telling Sophie then, just because I want to see, like, hey, maybe she knows who's after me, or maybe she sent Gregory after me, right?
That's possible. Okay, so you want to provoke or tell Sophie then?
Tell Sophie.
All right. This is clearly something more serious than what you can figure out on your own. You have to ask Sophie for help. She must have experience with all kinds of stalkers, invisible or not. You make your way to Sophie's apartment, feeling watched the whole way. It would be better if you could shake the tail, but something tells you that's impossible. So I'll read the narration here, since, you know, you and Sophie are going to be talking to each other. A ghoul lets you into Sophie's apartment. You're not sure how many servants she has, but their servility creeps you out. Does vampire blood do that to people, or is it just Sophie's personality? I would add, is it both? It's a mixture of both.
Yeah.
The ghoul tells you that Sophie's not in and bids you to wait in the living room. You do as directed, settling down on a sofa. As you sit contemplating Sophie's decor, you feel strange, as if the feeling of being followed on the street never really left you.
Okay, wait, hold up. Why would you contemplate Sophie's decor? I mean, it's really nice. It's very fancy and elegant. Why would you? What are you contemplating? How nice it looks?
Yeah.
Or like, okay.
But that's how I interpret that. You're basically
Okay.
because Sophie is very elegant, high class, old school, old fashioned with her art style and everything. You've only been to her place a couple of times, right? So you sit down, you're like, I didn't really notice that painting there before. Ooh, or I didn't notice this statue, right? Ooh, this looks kind of different. You're kind of like, that's what it means.
Oh, so just like admiring her decor.
Contemplating, thinking about it. You're thinking about it.
Okay.
I don't see an issue
feel like that's
with
a
that word.
weird word to use, but it's
Really?
okay. I mean,
Because I see it as
contemplating-
you're thinking about it. You're concentrating, contemplating, thinking about it.
But contemplating has like more connotations than just admiring. Because if you're just thinking about it and being like it's nice, it's admiring. But if you're thinking about it like in detail for some reason, like, oh, this kind of chair must be from like 19 whatevers, and like I wonder how it's preserved for so long. Like that is contemplating, you know?
I mean, I kind of see that as admiration as well. Like I don't see the issue like with the word.
Oh no, it's just me being a grammar Nazi. Don't worry about it.
Or not a grammar. Actually, I'm going to correct you there. You're being pedantic. That's
what
the
does
correct
that
word.
mean?
Pedantic means you are very you basically you're the person in any conversation where a person says something, you know exactly what they mean, but you're like, well, technically this word that you used means this. You're basically pedantic, and I just pedantically I've out pedanticized you.
All right.
But yeah, let's not get too carried away with that.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on. You don't have time to think more on this because Sophie strides in, clearly in a good mood.
Oh, I'm saying her lines because we don't have our guest stars.
We don't have our
today, 'cause
guests.
It's completely random.
It's just the two of us.
If it isn't my it's more of a warm, elegant voice.
Mhm.
If it isn't my favorite stray, am I imagining it, or have you started to dress a little better?
You stand up, too worried to waste time on small talk.
I'm being followed. I have a weird feeling when I go out. Yeah, I'm being followed. I'm being followed. Some creep has been tailing me for a few nights now, and I can't shake them. So you let them hear? I appreciate your initiative. This is a cause for concern, to be sure. In fact...
Sophie looks around the room, suddenly startled.
I can't believe it.
As Sophie stands up, ready to face whatever danger she senses, an invisible force pushes aside her servant, standing in the doorway. You hear the door to Sophie's apartment open and close. Sophie sighs and settles back down as the ghoul disappears into the hallway in a vain effort to catch the stalker.
I suppose I should scold you, but in a town full of Malkavians and Nosferatu, it's probably useless. Sometimes this happens. This is embarrassing. You should be careful. I'll assign one of my servants to watch your haven.
You leave Sophie's apartment chastened and confused. If invisible orlocks and gestures can follow you anywhere, how are you supposed to stop them? Perhaps it's all part of the game the kindred seem to play with each other. Hard to say if that makes it better or worse.
Oh, that's it. That was.
That's it.
That took
some of these
the
are
whole
really
night.
Some of these are really short. Just think of it. Every single one of these is an action. Some of them could be really short, a minute or two, and some of them will be really longer. So,
but it took like it took the whole half the night just to go see Sophie and have like a 2-second conversation with her.
Well, it's implied again. Like I said last time, it's implied that a lot of things were skipped. Like perhaps Sophie discussed more things with you. Like you could use your headcanon to kind of fill in like more of what stuff happened and whatnot. And it could also be
fair.
that you talked to Sophie and you lost track of time. It seems like it was a short conversation, but it took longer, and also maybe you're kind of tired and like you just your character wants to set up bed for tonight. Like that's how
Okay.
it's a video game, right? So they speed things up.
I mean,
I like to
in
use
my
my
head
headcanon. Yeah, what happens in
in
your
my
headcanon?
It's more so like because you were contemplating her furniture.
That took a
So
while?
you're just like there. Yeah, it took like a very long time. In the meantime, she's doing her thing, and so she comes in like the last few minutes of nighttime.
I
and
like
she's
that.
like,
I
"What
like
are you
that
doing
idea,
here?"
actually. I like that idea
Yeah.
because
So
Sophie's a
you've just
busy
been like
woman.
waiting there.
So that's why you were busy like looking at the artwork. I actually like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right,
And
we are gonna
that makes more
rest.
sense. Well, we have to because the daytime is
Okay,
dangerous.
now we got some
And
new stuff. There's still our old
Whoa.
quests. Now this one is
Mhm.
called Faith and Myth, Part 2. Benoit
Mhm.
Segal wants to meet you again at the cathedral. You wonder whether that mysterious priest will be there. And this is a new one, a nosy reporter, Part 1. There's a sleazy reporter from a gossip magazine sniffing around Sophie's haven. She could use your help with the problem. And you still have all your other companion quests. So,
Okay.
what are we doing tonight?
I think for the first part, let's start off with the sleazy reporter, and then for the second part of the night, we can
Mhm.
go and speak to with D'Angelo because I kind of want to know what's going on with that case.
We don't know.
And I feel like
we don't know whether each of these quests and actions will take half a night or the whole night. So let's assume we can only do one tonight. Which one will you pick?
Okay. If we're gonna have to only do one tonight, I do think we should still follow up with the Sophie problem because at least we can deter them from Sophie, possibly.
So the nosy reporter?
Yeah, I think so. Because if
Okay.
Sophie's having a problem, and if I
Yeah.
help her out, she might be more inclined to help me later on.
Exactly. And she is basically taking care of you, and all of this makes sense.
It's good to show her my thanks in a more
Exactly.
actionable way.
All right, let's go confront TMZ. I'll read this here, and I think the next scene you can read it because I'm going to be doing a lot of
You're gonna
talking
be doing
as the
the
guy.
reporter.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I'll
exactly.
read it here. The
Sounds
streetlights filter into the apartment in a stark white glow, as if someone were shooting a movie outside. The art pieces display a tasteful expense, entirely fitting the image you have of Sophie. It feels as if 1,000 sins have been committed on these premises, most of them under her benevolent hospitality.
Whoa, what kind of sins? Oh my god.
Orgies? I don't know.
Oh my, I mean, it could be that, but I was also thinking just murder.
Murder as well. People got killed. Yeah.
I mean, she does have a blood red couch. It could be for other purposes.
I don't think Sophie's the type of person who would leave that blood lying around there. She would immediately say, "This is
she
distasteful."
wouldn't.
Exactly.
Of course. She would get a cleaning crew in there immediately,
Exactly.
but
Mhm.
the blood redness would mask any residual blood left.
That could be possible.
Yeah,
Sophie
or it could just
come-
be a feeding orgy.
Or
it.
that. Or maybe it's just debauchery, like doing drugs
Oh,
or
God.
something, whatever.
Oh god, alright, okay, enough contemplating the sins.
Contemplating, she said. Sophie comes to greet you as you enter the living room, shaking her head.
You understand that my people judge me based on how you dress, don't you? Wow, she's gonna be criticizing how I dress, like, all the time. She's like my
She-
mother, in a way.
She is a Toreador, and she's an old Toreador as well. So dress style heavily does matter to her.
You know what she reminds me of? She reminds me of BoJack Horseman's mother. Like, straight up.
That is insulting to Sophie. Let's not go there.
No, I mean just how she dresses and like
The
she has a
judgmental?
cigar in her hand.
Oh yeah, she
Yeah,
is very.
judgmentalness.
She has that old, elegant. Yeah, that style.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I will agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, not like personality, but just the style.
Okay. I'm
Exactly.
sorry. I thought you meant personality, and I got a little.
No,
Yeah.
worked up there, huh?
Sophie looks at your clothes as if resigned to your sartorial limitations.
I can take care of myself. Try to dress inconspicuously. Yeah, I've tried to dress inconspicuously. I've tried to dress inconspicuously because of the masquerade. That's very sensible of you. I suppose I should commend you for that.
Sophie walks to the window and looks out. The streetlights playing on her features. She
I said
reminds
that
you.
line.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
sorry.
one?
Go ahead.
No. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, that line with Sophie, I said that line in a very sarcastic way because I felt like she would too. Because it's like, I guess that's okay, but it still looks bad, and you have no taste.
I could kind of. That actually does go. I could see her saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She reminds you of a queen contemplating the unfortunate limitations of her subjects, which kind of goes with the way you read that previous line.
Yeah. You'd think as a vampire, at least we wouldn't have to worry about vultures at the press. Unfortunately, when you have power and ability, there are always parasites trying to feed on you. Is there a reporter after you? He's a journalist friend. I'll go beat up the bastard. Okay, I'll go with I have a journalist friend. Perhaps my resources can come in handy for once. Wait, she has no friends. Shit. Okay.
Maybe, I mean, again, don't take this literally. It could just be like she has a contact, like a journalist contact. Like she, works in a fintech company, so.
I used to have a journalist friend. Then you know what they're like.
Sophie steps away from the window and settles down on the sofa. A wine glass with a red liquid in it. Blood. Treated as not to spoil. You've become good at noticing the scent, even from a distance. She doesn't offer you any as you cautiously sit down across from her.
This awful man has been stalking my apartment with a camera. He's gone through my trash, talked to the neighbors. Please be a dear and explain to him that there's nothing for him here.
Wow, he's gone through the trash. Now that's a violation. They say you
that
can.
That is a huge violation.
I know, right? I don't want people seeing my, burger, kebab. Well, I don't know what you put in your trash can, but okay.
I mean, okay, as someone who feeds off of human blood, the human body is technically the container, the disposable container.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
is... But
it's
not reusable, which is upsetting.
Sophie... One, I don't think Sophie's the type of person who would kill somebody when feeding off of them. That's very careless. And even if she had a body to stash, she has Gregory. She could tell Gregory, yo, drive here, bury the thing, whatever. She wouldn't dump it in a dumpster. Like, that's such
I'm just thinking, like, how our landfills are, like, overflowing with trash? Their landfills are overflowing with corpses, but it's decomposable, so...
Biodegradable.
That's good. Yeah, it's biodegradable. That's... these vampires are more eco-friendly than we are.
No, they're not. And that's why werewolves, in the world of darkness, there's three entities. There's mages, there's vampires, and there's werewolves. Werewolves despise vampires because they believe vampires are an affront to nature, to the ecosystem, and they would very much disagree with you on that.
But they eat things in a biodegradable container. Isn't that good?
What do you mean?
I mean, humans.
No, wait. Who eats who in a bio... I don't understand. You have to spell it out.
Vampires drink human blood, which are contained in a biodegradable container, as in the human body.
No, so from their perspective, from their perspective, werewolves are defenders of nature. Like, they worship nature gods and stuff. And from their perspective, vampires are literally rotting undead creatures, which is already unnatural. Not just that, many vampires, werewolves live away from human society. They basically live, usually they live in the woods.
In, like, forests?
Forests and woods and stuff. Vampires, on the other hand, they have a hand in human society, right? And a lot of them are powerful people, including CEOs, politicians, who are polluting, killing the environment. They're true. If they're not Jeff Bezos, they're the people pulling Jeff Bezos' strings. And
that's very true.
So in that sense, they're literally killing the environment. So
okay.
Vampires are not eco-friendly.
All right, fine. They're not eco-friendly, but the things they eat are. Continue.
Their food is, I guess.
Yeah. Is this about the Masquerade? Is this about the Masquerade? It's a big deal for us, right? Indeed, you're learning. This must happen often. This must happen often. How do you usually deal with it? Everyone has their own way. Sometimes the problem goes away with a bit of money or sharp words. Other times, you need something more. Am I in danger? Do I get something out of this? Do you know anything about the reporter? That one. Do you know anything about the reporter? Man, woman, young, old, anything like that? All gossip reporters look the same to me. Time for you to go. I have business to attend to.
You leave the apartment as Sophie disappears into another room. You don't have a clear idea of the games she plays with the city's mortal and immortal power structures, but she always seems to be making a move. You can take it from here.
Okay. Outside on the street, there is a slight warm drizzle, the kind that gets under your clothes and makes you want to take a shower when you get back to your own haven. No reporters immediately jump out at you. I'm going to investigate the area. You start with the basics of investigative work. You ask the proprietor of the bodega around the corner, the homeless man sleeping in the nearby doorway, and the doorman of another building whether they've seen anyone strange. Besides you, because you've talked to, like, everyone. Detective work produces results. You get the description of a man who sounds like a reporter. Older, overweight, pasty, in a bad physical condition. Professional camera. Once you know what you're looking for, it's not difficult. You spot a man who matches the description and follow him. You enter an alley, a dark, dingy space between two tall buildings. Once upon a time, a place like this might have worried you, made you think of muggings and violence. Now it's clear the most dangerous thing here is you. The man you're following seems to realize this too. He holds his camera in front of him like a shield. It's a heavy object resting on his paunch. With the start, you recognize him. You remember the face, the shaded sunglasses from a picture next to a byline and some trashy paper someone thrust in your face at a company party. His name is Frank Duggery. Duggerty? Is it Duggerty?
Honestly, okay. I have trouble pronouncing this one as last name as well.
Doherty.
Doherty? I'm not
Doherty.
sure.
I'm gonna call it, because it's like dough for the first part.
Doherty?
Okay.
Yeah, Doherty.
Yeah. His name is Frank Doherty, and he'd taken pictures of one of your investors feeling up a sex worker at a nightclub. You'd been there too, and the funny thing was, what Doherty showed in the photo was just the tip of the iceberg. After all, work hard and play hard was the order of the day. Wait, that's so messed up.
Hey, don't go around scaring people like that.
I'm a huge fan.
You're gonna say that?
Mm-hmm. Wow, you're Frank Doherty. I'm a huge fan. I love your work.
Thank you. It's nice to have one's work appreciated.
What are you working on?
Second one?
Mm-hmm. What are you reporting on?
I'm not sure you can help me. Well, perhaps you can. Do you live here? I'm working on a story about a local resident. Her name is Sophie Langley. Everybody knows her in high society circles. She's a redhead, pretty as a picture, and there were a lot of pictures of her through the years. That's the thing, in fact. Look at this.
Uh-oh. That she's never aged? Oh no. Frank pulls out his phone and starts showing you pictures. Some have been downloaded from news sites, while others are photos from the society pages of newspapers from past decades. All show Sophie. She wears different clothes, hairstyles, makeup, names, but the face remains the same. So what do you think it's called? They're all hot. Other than that, I'm not sure.
You're gonna pick that one?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to make him believe that I'm just like some clueless ditz
Like
who's
some
just a fan of
clueless
his.
ditz, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, unfortunately,
Oh.
there's a bug, so just...
There's still a bug.
Yeah, there's still a button we can advance, but, like, the dialogue was... You could, if you remembered, you could just, like, read what you remember. It was something like, they're all hot.
They're all hot. But other than that, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's good enough. Come on, look at the face. It's always the same.
You must have a theory of what's happening.
Yeah, this whole section's kind of bugged. Like, I remember when I played it, it's kind of... Yeah.
You must have a theory about what's, about why that is.
I have a theory or two, but before I print my theory, I need facts to back it up. 3 words. Extreme plastic surgery. All the celebrities do it. Only her doctor is better than the rest.
You look critically at the photos on Frank's phone. Hook me up with this miracle doctor.
Alright, read that, just in case there's a bug.
Yeah. Hook me up with this miracle doctor. I don't want any more of these fine lines. Oh, wait. Sure, I guess. If you find out who the surgeon is, let me know. I could have some work done.
You're right. It makes no sense. Damn. So, how would you explain it?
Ancient medicines. Oh, no. It's a hoax. Yeah, I think it's just a touch-up. Like, it's Photoshop.
You're gonna go with the 3rd one?
Yeah.
Alright.
Have you considered the possibility that those pictures are a hoax?
Sure, anything can be a hoax, but I dug up those old papers from the archives myself. I gotta have something usable.
Dominate.
You're gonna use your powers?
Yep.
Alright.
You look Frank in the eyes. They are red behind his shaded glasses. Veins pop from years of neglecting his body. Suddenly he seems soft, easy to manipulate. His will, nothing but plaster crumbling under your boot. Go home and destroy your research on Sophie Langley. As your vampiric gaze takes over Frank's mind, he feels less than a person and more like an automaton, a machine you can program. Perhaps this is why older vampires are said to think of humans as nothing but animals. How can you consider someone a thinking person with a free will when you can override them at any moment? Frank is mumbling, fondling his camera, inching around you to the entrance of the alley. He looks sad and worn as he goes. A man who used to be something, now just a shell. It almost feels embarrassing to use the powers of your blood on someone so weak. At least you're pretty sure he'll stay away. See, I could have probably threatened him with legal action or the other thing, but I don't want him coming back to me. This is the best way for him to stay away completely. And I know I really didn't need to use my powers there. I know I didn't, but I just wanted to ensure it.
That's your choice, and it worked. I mean, it worked out. We have time for one more action. So
I want to meet D'Angelo, because I want to know more about this crime that he's working on, and I still haven't been able to get close to Kadir, and I need to do that before whatever.
You don't want to meet any of these guys at least once, like Agathon or Tamika once?
Do I need to? Like, honestly, as for the gameplay?
You don't need. It's up to you, but I mean, like, you don't at least like want to just meet them one. Like, what I did was, I met each of them at least once, but then I advanced like either 1 or 2 of my coteries' full storylines. But it's up to you.
In that case, I will meet Agathon, just to see what he's up to, and if I'm interested.
Okay. So, it's kind of a magic. Sophie's mention of vampire clan of blood sorcerers sparked your attention. One of them, Agathon, could potentially be your introduction into the bizarre powers of the Tremere.
Tremere. Bizarre.
You arrive at the address given to you by Sophie. Small bookstore smack dab in the middle of Broadway, of all places. What really catches you off guard, though, is the store's display. From what you heard about the Tremere, they're infamous for their ties to the occult and the mystical. Infamous for their ties to the occult and the mystical. And yet now, looking at the oddball collection of items in the display window, it all feels borderline satirical. The books here cover everything, from Ayurvedic practices and homeopathy, to wellness and self-motivation. The vaguely amusing juxtapositions don't end there either. You notice a copy of Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible tucked behind a cheap-smiling Buddha. A scientific journal on hematology sits next to a teen-oriented pamphlet on the blood-type personality theory. A number of religious and quasi-religious symbols, lockets, pins, and various emblazoned paraphernalia are haphazardly strewn across the display and between the tomes. Before you even open the door, you can smell the burning incense and hear the corny Far East-tinged music seeping through the crackling speaker mounted above the entrance.
These guys are hippies, kinda.
Or they're disguised as hippies. It's
Ah.
much more quaint than what you expected from what Sophie told you about the so-called warlocks. It doesn't look like they have much interest in impressing outsiders. Then again, if there's anything you've learned these past few nights, it's that appearances can be deceiving. At this time of night, the shop appears to be closed. Regardless, you ring the bell. You hear someone shuffling around inside. A brief moment later, the latch slides and the door is pushed open just a few inches.
Should I be doing the narration for the next part? Since you're going to be doing the male. Okay, cool.
So I'll do it because there will be a female character, a very important female character as well.
Sure.
A tired-looking blonde in loose clothes appears in the crack. She seems confused, like you just woke her up. She lets out a yawn, scratching at her tattooed neck. Finally, she squints in your general direction. Her pierced lip curves into an awkward smile.
Is Agathon in? Oh wait, no wait. Is his name gonna be Agathon? Like, yeah, it is. Okay,
his name is
mind.
Agathon. Yeah.
Yep. I'm looking for a guy named Agathon. Is he around?
The girl gives you a suspicious look over, but opens the door. She takes a few steps back, and you hear footsteps coming from behind a floral curtain that covers the back door. A bespectacled, smart-looking woman emerges. Bespectacled, smart-looking woman emerges and looks straight at you. Okay, so this character, I imagine her to have a very calm, very cold, but not a high class like Panhard, the prince, but very cold, like cold researcher, scholar type voice.
Okay. So like this, like come in, follow me.
Very no time for nonsense, get straight to the point, quick. Yeah. Let's try it again.
Come in, follow me. Just don't touch anything, please.
That's good. You follow her through the store. Inside, as expected, the stuffy air smells of sandalwood, frankincense, and a dozen other aromas. The woman leads you behind the curtain and through the back door onto a rickety staircase. A flight of steps takes you up to the second story. You instantly notice the change in decor, as the tacky New Age bookstore gives way to something resembling a cross between a library and a workshop. The smell here is strong, too, but much more layered. You're not sure what to make of it at first, but with each whiff, it becomes apparent. Blood. The aroma, though subtle at first, soon becomes overpowering. It takes you a moment to adapt and focus.
I don't think you know who you're speaking with, so an introduction is in order. My name is Aisling.
I see it as Aisling.
It's like Eiling. Yeah, no, Eiling, because it's an aisle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Eileen Sturberg, and I'm the High Regent of Chantry of...
Sturbridge.
Oh, shoot. Sturbridge. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna try again. I don't think you know who you're speaking with, so an introduction is in order. My name is Eileen Sturbridge, and I'm a High Regent of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs.
So Chantry, every Tremere, the Chantry refers to like the Tremere, their like order. Tremeres have their own hierarchy and order, and the High Regent is basically the leader of the Chantry. So she is effectively, I think, like the Tremere Primogenitor.
Boss.
Yeah, Yeah, Tremere Chantry is a name for Tremere headquarters in a city, and the Regent is the leader of the Chantry. And sometimes, sometimes they could be the Tremere Primogen, depending.
You're Layla, correct? I have to say, you're lucky with the ward outside the building is only here for notifications tonight. Otherwise, it'd be quite unpleasant. To answer your question, Agathon is here, but he's hard at work, and I wouldn't want to disturb him. Am I to understand this is a social visit? How do you know who I am? High Regent sounds important. Yeah, that one. High Regent sounds important. High Regent of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs. That's quite a mouthful. It might sound fancy, but that's because, well, there's established tradition behind it. When you'd be wise not to ridicule, some might take offense. Me, for one.
Don't be too informal with the tone. She is a formal person, but like, it's a very no-nonsense, cold voice. Not, I said quick earlier, that was a mistake. It's more no-nonsense, like, cold researcher. Think of like a scientist. Think of those, like, characters you see in shows, like they're a powerful, well-known scientist, and they're very cold, kind of like no-nonsense. They're just focused on their research. Yeah. Okay. Exactly.
It might sound fancy, but that's because there's a well-established tradition behind it. One you'd be wise not to ridicule. Some might take offense, me for one. Like that?
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. What is it you're here for? I hear good things about Agathon. Sophie mentioned Agathon to me. That one. Sophie suggested I should meet Agathon. She said he's quite knowledgeable. Did she now?
Eileen looks you up and down. Her countenance seems unchanged, but you can tell she's judging what you said.
That's new.
Suddenly, a man enters from a side room. He doesn't even look at you, lost in his own thoughts. I have it, Eiling. I think I know how to find it. He catches himself as he notices you. His face turns sour. A visitor?
Yes, we were discussing you, in fact.
Is that so?
Let me introduce...
Third one?
Yeah. Let me introduce myself. My name is Layla. I've been told you might be interested in teaming up.
Teaming up? He seems very confused by the notion. What for?
I could assist you in your work. I could assist you in your work. I can be quite helpful, knowing I can count on someone to return the favor.
Is that right? He seems to consider it, then turns to Eiling. High Regent, may I ask your advice on this? She looks you over, as if judging your worth. It takes her just long enough to make you feel uncomfortable. When she takes her eyes off you, she addresses Agathon.
Do you feel like you need an assistance in your task, my child?
I am confident I can do it on my own. He pauses, hesitating for a second. But I do believe it is important enough to warrant outside help, even if only for a single night. Another brief moment of hesitation. Of course, the details would remain between you and I, sire.
Agreed. on all points. Why don't you start by giving our intern here a brief explanation of what it is you're after?
Agathon gives Eiling a hesitant look, but the woman nods approvingly. Encouraged, he turns towards you. A member of our clan disappeared without a trace a handful of nights ago. While the High Regent investigates if any foul play was involved, I have been tasked with recovering her research notes. If there's anything left to recover, that is. I may have an idea where to start looking, and I suppose this is where you come in. If you truly wish to help, I could use your assistance tonight. Right now, in fact, given the time we've just wasted on idle chatter. I should leave immediately.
Who's the missing person? And the missing kindred, who is she?
A single glance at Eiling is enough. You can tell you're not getting an answer, at least for now. We're after her research, that's what you should focus on. These people aren't in the habit of making things simple. Facing layers upon layers of secrecy, you can only hope that what lies beneath is the real deal. I'm heading out. Are you coming, or not?
Yeah, sure, I'll join you. Sure, I'll join you.
Very well. He gives Eiling a slight bow. High Regent, with your permission? She nods.
Before you go, however, Layla, defer to Agathon in all things. Our clan values obedience over everything else. Prove you can follow, and this might turn into a mutually beneficial relationship. I will wait his return, and his report. Good luck, my child.
Agathon bows again and heads out, urging you to follow. The High Regent watches you leave. Alright, you can read from here. Since it's just gonna be the two of us.
Outside, Agathon leads you to his car. It's almost funny seeing him getting behind a wheel. Somehow you'd expect a more mythical means of transportation.
Mystical.
Like transportation gates. Oh, mystical. Whoops.
I mean, they're kind of similar in meaning a little bit.
Kinda.
I was thinking, when I read this line, I was thinking of magic carpet. I was thinking magic carpet when I read this line.
Seriously, Aladdin? He's gonna Aladdin you out of here?
Yeah.
I was thinking...
Or a teleportation portal or something.
Yeah, like a summoning gate. Something like that. That'd be kind of cool. You drive south, heading to the Lower East Side. Agathon seems lost in thought. Either that, or he's a very careful driver. Either way, several minutes pass in silence. So the High Regent is your sire? No, wait, short. Wait. Not that. Where are we going? Yeah, because I mean, he did say sire before we left, so I don't think that's like relevant.
I mean,
she already knows.
Lila is not asking that to confirm. It's more like she'd be asking that, like, oh, I see the High Regent's your sire. Tell me more, like, you know.
Oh yeah, like what made her choose you? That's so
something
cool.
like that. Yeah,
kind of
but
thing.
you chose.
Yeah,
where are we going?
Oh well. So
I mean,
where
feel free to
going?
ask me questions on what you think the meaning might be, because like,
True.
just because like you might know something, like again, people are human.
Like I had a completely different idea of what it was going to be versus what it could have been.
Yeah, so feel free to ask me. Yeah, next time.
Sounds good. I already said this line.
Oh, okay. Williamsburg. There's a place there that our missing colleague frequented.
He seems to be thinking of the right words before he decides to address you again.
Let me ask you something. Why me? There's likely a couple hundred of us kindred in New York. Yet you seek me out specifically. Why?
You sounded interesting. I've been told of a few younger vampires I should meet. You sound like an interesting guy.
Interesting? I see.
Once more, he grows silent. You're unsure whether to continue prying as your driver seems to disappear into his thoughts. You drive into Williamsburg and stop by a fancy-looking building.
We're here. There's a restaurant on the top floor. You wanted to help, so here's your chance. I need you to get us inside the VIP lobby.
Oh. You recognize the place. It's where you were embraced near a few nights back. Funny how this restaurant is apparently a vampire magnet.
Once we're in, I need half an hour of focus and some space. It'll be up to you to keep attention away from the room. Can you do it?
He doesn't wait for an answer and points to the front door.
Go ahead. I'm right behind you.
Should this be you or me?
It's just gonna be continue. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. The two of you take the elevator up to the restaurant. The doors open and you see that there are only a few guests left, sitting at their tables. An important-looking staff member approaches you.
Good evening. I'm very sorry, but the restaurant is closing for the night. I can make a reservation for next week, if you wish.
I'm the special kind of client. No, I think we can get in now. We're special clients, if you know what I mean.
I don't think I do. Apologies, but it's company policy, no exceptions. Would you like to make a reservation?
This is an outrage. This is an outrage. I have some very influential friends in town. They will hear about this.
I'm sure they will. Now, if you don't mind, I would kindly ask you to leave. Go ahead.
Oh, shoot. I forgot that I was narrating. I was just like, oh no, did I blow my chance to use Dominate? Damn it.
You had presence. There was presence in the...
There was people there. Yeah, there was people already sitting there, so I felt like that was a bad idea to use it.
No. So, when you use these powers, unless you're doing something very overt, like, I don't know, cutting yourself, committing a blood ritual, these powers are very subtle. So in the previous dialogue, there is an option, presence. It's a power that allows you to seem bigger, more important than you are. And it enhances your words.
I should have done that.
Or again, if you have a question, a concern, again, feel free to ask me, like, hey, if I use this power, what's the circumstance? I'll tell you. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you which one to do. That's your choice. But if you have questions, like, again, ask me. Like, that's what I'm here for.
I'm sorry. I probably should have. I thought that was going to be like a third attempt, but I guess not. Because I was going to.
You missed, and now big Agathon realizes.
I'm supposed to be helping. Oh,
yeah.
No.
Now you. Yeah. So go ahead.
Agathon steps in front of you. His voice is a far cry from his unusual reserved self. It takes on a commanding tone that seems impossible to ignore.
No. You will let us enter the VIP lobby and stay there for as long as we like. But of course, please, come in.
You walk in, trying to look casual, and make your way towards the VIP lobby. Step inside and close the door behind you. This is the familiar sight, the same place where you had your last meal as a mortal. Strange. You should feel something, but the lavishly decorated room looks almost plain to you. Agathon turns to you, straight-faced but clearly irritated. Shit.
I'm curious. When exactly are you planning to make yourself useful?
Shit. He inspects the room. The unusually cold Sorry. He inspects the room. Cold. Yeah, I thought I was talking about him. He inspects the room. It's unusually cold, and Agathon soon discovers why. Looking behind the curtain, a window hangs open. The handle and lock look like they've been dissolved, as if with acid.
But damn it, Juno.
Looks like she's gone. Whoever Juno is, looks like she's no longer here. A flash of fury sparks in his eyes.
Yeah, no kidding?
He takes a frantic look around the room. What did I do? Why am I doing everything wrong with this guy?
It was your job, to be fair, it was your job to, what's it called? Get
into the room.
And you failed at that, and he had to step in. And then you stated something very obvious, like, hey, she's gone. Well, and from his perspective, he's like, no shit, Sherlock.
No shit, Sherlock. Yeah. Damn it.
And again, Tremere are very secretive people. So he's like, yeah.
He doesn't want to be in the... Yeah, it makes sense.
This changes things. Keep an eye on the door. I'll need some time. Half an hour, at the very least. Nobody disturbs me. Understand?
He hastily pushes a couch and some potted plants out of the way, moves the bar stool, and takes out a curved knife. Cutting into his own arm, he lets some of his blood drip onto the wooden floor. It's pretty fucked up, the way his flesh oozes the deep red, thick vitae. In life, you'd have found the stomach churning, but right now, you feel weirdly turned on by the sight. What follows is more disturbing yet. With one hand, he sheaths the knife and seals the wound. With another, he smears the blood around him while muttering some weird chant. It sounds vaguely Latin, but you're pretty sure it isn't. It's more than a little disconcerting, but he seems to know what he's doing. A few moments later, the circle starts glowing faintly as thin wisps of smoke surround Agathon. He sits down in the middle, legs crossed, eyes closed. Minutes pass. Agathon's face twitches from time to time, and his head turns every now and then, as if he was looking around or listening in on a conversation. The smoke grows thicker, forming a veil around the mage. Expect something more flashy, but it's still a sight to behold. You wonder what the point of it is, but refrain from asking. If it's possible, it's probably best to let Agathon do his thing. For close to 30 minutes, you're left to your own devices. Suddenly the door swings open and the manager storms in, ready to raise hell. The initial haze must have worn off quicker than usual. Calm him down. You try to calm the man down, but he'll have none of it. He keeps shouting and threatens to call security. That's when Agathon finally gets up off the floor. He shakes his head casually and walks over to the sofa, picking up something from between the cracks and the upholstery.
We're done here. Let's go. Who the hell do you think you are? Get out of my restaurant this instant!
Not wanting to make the situation any worse, you walk out sheepishly. The manager follows you all the way to the elevator, shouting and cursing. Agathon doesn't seem particularly fazed by any of this. Wait, was that supposed to happen, or should I have argued with the guy? Because I thought Tremere were meant to be more quieted, right? That's why I was trying to calm him down.
The restaurant owner is not a kindred.
Yes, but should I have shouted back?
Agathon, yeah, you messed up. Agathon said,
Shit.
I'm concentrating. Do not let me be disturbed. You tried to calm the guy down instead of arguing with him. And, yeah.
Oh my god, I did everything wrong.
You calmed him down instead of arguing with him. No, we were here. We should be allowed to remain here. And his yelling broke Agathon's... Yep.
I thought my yelling would also break his concentration. That's why I didn't do it.
Again,
Damn it, man.
Quasar, ask me. Ask me.
You know what? Can we redo this whole Agathon bit?
So unfortunately, with the way VTM saves, if we restart, I can't restart everything as soon as I exit it auto saves. Unless you want to restart from the very beginning where I skip through everything.
No, that's a terrible idea. Okay,
I'll
live with my consequences.
Give me 1 second. I gotta say bye to some relatives. Give me 1 second.
Sure, no problem. In the meantime, thank you to everyone who's tuning in right now. And it's actually because of the fact that it's completely impromptu, we didn't expect there to be any live viewers, which is completely fine. We're planning to upload this onto YouTube as well as have the VOD available on our Twitch. But yeah, we knew it was going to be like this, and we hope that once we have a properly set schedule, we'll be able to have more live viewers and more live talks going on. So at the moment, thank you again for everyone who's tuning in, and anyone who's also watching the VODs right now. Thank you very much for your support. We greatly appreciate it. We've been noticing our VODs have been watched frequently by a lot of people, and that's very, very it's a very good news for us. It means that people actually like our content and want to see more of it. So it helps motivate us. So we're very, very grateful to all of our viewers and all of our watchers, whether live or via VODs. Thank you again. But yeah, right now, right now it's like, I won't tell you the exact time because I don't want you guys to figure out what time zone I'm in. But it's very late at night, and I am like completely delirious in general, and I feel like I'm making the absolute wrong decisions, even though logically they seem right to me. But like, man, this whole Agathon arc is just like completely screwing me up. I feel like I need to slow down, you know? I feel like I'm going at like rapid pace, and like I feel like my reading, my acting, everything is just going at a very, very quick pace, and that probably should be slowed down a little bit. It might be like, you know, the late nightness of it all. I think what I need to do is calm myself down, slow the pace down, and then read through the decisions and make the decisions after I contemplate them. Not admire, contemplate. Because in this case, it actually makes sense. The other case, it was admire, but you know, we'll just keep it between us. Oh, you're back! Okay! We can continue.
Yeah, so again, just... I've noticed, like, the way you might like read too deeply into something, so that's why, like, feel free to ask me. Like, with these things, take it at face value. Don't overthink the choices and decisions. Take it at just face value. Don't super overthink, overanalyze. It's whatever it says on the surface. Like, argue with the guy, you would argue with the guy. Don't worry about, oh, but like, and even if that did disturb Agathon, it's possible that option would have disturbed him. But remember what he said. Let's look back at the dialogue. He said, right here,
make sure no one comes in.
Nobody disturbs me, understand?
Yeah.
You arguing with the guy, that wouldn't disturb him, because you're, again, stopping. The guy kept yelling out at Agathon, because he saw Agathon lying there. That's what disturbs Agathon's concentration.
More so than myself. Okay.
Yep.
The restaurant staff throw you some curious glances as you walk towards the elevator, but wisely decide not to bother you. The ride down feels tense. You half expect to see a police car waiting outside. Agathon only seems to relax once you're back in his car. He starts the engine and takes a right at the Continental Army Plaza, back onto the bridge towards Manhattan. You're just about to say something, but Agathon beats you to it.
Save it. Just don't.
He grinds his teeth.
For a moment, I thought we were onto something, but no. Just no.
That's the most emotion you've managed to get out of this guy all night. It's anything but positive. Not a great sign.
Once we get back, you get out and start walking. I don't want to hear another word from you, ever.
Shit, I really messed up. The trip back to the bookstore feels like an eternity. The awkward silence seems to grow, like an ever-widening gap between you two.
I didn't even know you could piss off a companion and they tell you they never want to see you again. Holy damn.
I did all the wrong choices. When the car finally stops, you can't help but feel a sense of relief. He doesn't even look at you as he walks to the store and rings the bell. You get the message. This partnership was over even before it began.
Welp, we lost Agathon.
Damn it. Well, I mean, it's not that bad, but it's also pretty bad. And I did not help him.
You can never have him as
slightest.
an option. His questline will never appear on the map ever again.
That is actually pretty sad. I was actually like when the coterie thing first was introduced, he was like my number one in the beginning before I realized, D'Angelo would get me to Kader and Hope is pretty cool. But like Agathon was one of my like, oh, he's super cool. I want to go befriend him so I can do blood magic stuff. And then this happened.
You ruined it. Yep. And
I
remember
completely
another thing.
ruined it.
Remember another thing. The High Regent, she said, their clan values obedience. Remember when you were in the car? You should have remained just quiet. Speak only when spoken to. That's what because I saw that and I was like, this guy's a quiet guy. I don't want to disturb or make stupid small talk. I'm just gonna talk if he asks me questions.
See,
And
that's
if he
what
tells
I
me to-
assumed. That's what I assumed.
So why didn't
but
you?
Like,
what made you not go for that?
because I thought I could get more information. And okay, you were away for a bit, and I was having a kind of one-on-one conversation with the viewer, whoever that may be. And that conversation included me realizing that I should probably slow the fuck down because I'm currently going at like a rapid pace, and I should really like just
take it easy.
Take it slow. Take it
a
easy,
little bit easy. Yeah, relax.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that after I rest.
All right.
I'm gonna take it easy.
Go ahead.
Is this me? Okay.
Yeah.
Qadir al-Asami, the sheriff of New York City.
Asmai.
Oh.
Al-Asmai.
Well, Qadir al-Asmai, the sheriff of New York City, is knocking at your door to your heaven. Knocking at the door to your haven. The sight comes as more than a little shocking. If he had business with you, you'd either expect to see him already inside or never coming in at all.
Never see him coming at all.
What is wrong with me? Okay, let me try that again. The sight comes in as more than a little shocking. If he had business with you, either expect to see him already inside or never see him coming at all. Yet, there he is, on the other side of the peephole, patiently and politely waiting for you to let him in. You carefully unlock the door and face him in silence.
Evening. May I come in?
You simply stare at him. Your lack of an answer doesn't faze him, and your lack of resistance as he starts walking inside has obviously been interpreted as a permission. Once inside, he starts looking around you cautiously, as you cautiously stay by the door.
Haven't really had time to make this place your own yet, have you? It feels like Langley's apartment through and through. A secluded study where nobody studies anything. Look at the books on the shelf. Obviously meant to impress guests, not to be read. They reveal nothing about their owner, aside from the aching desire to be taken seriously as an intellectual.
Excuse me, pushes up Speckles. He picks up one of them and smirks before putting it away.
The phenomenology of spirit, next to all of this garbage poetry. We can make a bet. If she's read more than 20 pages, I owe you $50 and a gallon of blood.
It better be blood I can actually drink.
I mean, I'm sure he'd, see to that. The kind of place that self-professed hermits entomb themselves in to suffer. Considering how much you have to run around these nights, you probably only use it to shelter from the sun and rest, right?
Even though he's obviously making an effort to come off as non-threatening, it's impossible to forget the first impression he made. You still see him as a fierce predator, trying hard not to expose his true colors. You sense a familiar fight or flight response as you struggle to find a diplomatic response to his last question.
Diplomatic answer.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, that. If Qadir is bothered by your silence, he doesn't let it show. He keeps walking around, toying with whatever catches his eye. Eventually, he speaks up again.
Watch any baseball lately? If I had to guess, you strike me as a Red Sox fan.
Is he trying to be friendly? It's just so confusing. Now he's inviting you to talk in a more direct manner. You will attempt to overcome your physical reaction to him and reply as casually as you can.
Okay, all of these are... It's a bug again, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. They're all the same. I believe they're all the same, so it doesn't matter. Just we'll pick the...
Okay.
No, 1, 2, or 3. It doesn't...
2. Let's go with 2.
It's all literally just dot. Yeah, every single one.
Okay. It's such a weird bug.
It's a weird visual text bug, yeah.
Yeah. Your mind keeps going back to that night when everything was changed forever. Waking up in hell with a body next to you, spending the night in an underground sweatbox, unsure of what will happen next. That endless car ride, 3 strikes. a bloody crowd. Sorry,
Look.
a thirsty crowd.
There you go.
That blade. A rebirth, a baptism by fire, a frightening executor who made sure the flames scarred your spirit.
I guess he's also giving you the silent response as well.
As you look into his face, you realize he's read the emotions from yours.
Not in the mood to exchange pleasantries,
There's no animosity in his voice, he's just stating a fact.
Let me get straight to the point, then.
He momentarily stops caring about his surroundings, turning all of his attention to you, and demanding the entirety of your attention in return.
You see, there's something I've realized over the years. In large part, I may have been hired just to look menacing with a sword, but my job is all about seeing through bonds and relationships. The Camarilla would be safe as long as its members adhered to certain social contracts, making their dealings and affinities plain for everyone to see. But that, obviously, remains a pipe dream. This is a community of born conspirators, overly ambitious gangsters and politicians, monsters in denial, all sorts of tragically broken individuals. They are driven by desires that make them incompatible with the Masquerade, incompatible with prolonged survival of the Camarilla, incompatible with the methods I use to operate. And so, I am doomed to be like a cop, constantly insulted behind my back, maybe for a good reason, but immediately called for help whenever someone loses their tableware.
That is kind of a sad reality.
Yep. Or like an Agatha Christie protagonist, outwardly assisted by everyone, but constantly lied to about everyone's pasts and motivations, even if my failure to solve the mystery might be the end of us all. Ah, he's a well-read guy. He reads Agatha Christie.
Mm-hmm.
If
I mean,
anyone
that's why he was making fun of Sophie.
Her books, yeah, because they're all like bullshit, basically, with big words.
Because she's just there for like show.
For those unfamiliar, Agatha Christie is a very well-known gothic horror novelist. A lot of she's kind of, I call her like the mother of modern gothic fiction, personally.
He tries to sound like he's peacefully resigned to his fate, but it's easy to detect a tinge of regret in his voice, a voice belonging to someone who once had bigger ambitions than this.
He's basically reduced to like you said, he's a dirty cop, like not a shell necessarily. Really, he's basically a janitor, a glorified janitor.
He cleans up the messes of the Camarilla. He's kind of there to be a tool rather than a friend, you know?
Exactly.
And that sucks.
Yep.
Yeah. What broke him?
So you see, for this detective, the why-done-it is far more important than the who-done-it or how-done-it. When you understand all the players and their mutual obligations, you easily understand every crime.
That makes sense.
But of course, the Kindred know it, so they devise ways to make my job much harder, just like conspiracies between two unrelated actors that depend on scratching each other's backs for mutual security. Or they enforce a blood bond to make someone unexpected their thrall, a boss serving their employee, a rebel serving a tyrant, just because one is regularly being forced to drink another's blood. So this goes back to what you were asking me, what happens if a vampire feeds another vampire's blood? The one who does the feeding, the one who's drinking the blood, they become bonded to the one giving the blood. And as the dictionary says, it's a mystically enforced relationship, and if you do this 3 times or more, it creates an intense loyalty in the drinker. So the drinker, even though they might not want it, they might hate the person, but they become... Oh, hey, Taha Tiana.
Hi, Taha Tiana.
That's a friend of mine. He's decided to join us this late at night.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I question his choices, but I'm glad he's here.
Wow. That. But yeah, a blood bond basically. The more the person drinks that blood, they become mystically, magically forced to be loyal to that person.
So then,
unfortunately.
But then you'd have to, like, the person who's giving the blood, right? They'd have to force the other person to drink it, convince them somehow. right?
They
Like
could
either
use
by
force, it could be consensual, it could be force, it could be through whatever means. Yep.
and by 3 times, does that mean on 3 separate days?
Three
Is there a
separate
time
three
limit?
separate occasions, 3 separate settings. Like it's not just one sip, that's one. No. It has to be like you could say like 3 separate occasions, like you take a sip,
Like perhaps
you
like
rest
24 hours in between. That kind of thing.
I don't know the exact time in between, but
Times,
sure, you
yeah.
could keep it like that.
Sure. Yeah.
What has Sophie seen in you? Why does the prince keep asking me about your actions? How come you're being pushed to build your own coterie so fast? You are surrounded by unclear motivations which you yourself don't understand. That unnerves me, and it should unnerve you as well.
See, I feel like God there here is like an actually like nice guy, like down to it. Like he was kind of intimidating before, but like he's
He
actually
was
trying
doing
to
his
look out
job,
for you.
literally.
And
He was
yeah,
intimidating you because, again, like you
He's
noticed in
supposed to.
hindsight,
yeah.
he doesn't want to
He's just
fight you.
supposed
He's
to.
hoping him scaring you makes you back down and listen to him, basically.
And honestly, like, okay, Spectre Prime,
honest.
one of our
He's
yeah,
honest.
Spectre Prime, one of our viewers, said this earlier, but like she's totally into him, and I also feel like I am as well because
Okay, so you just have
he
a crush
actually
on
is a
the guy.
he's a genuinely nice person.
I wouldn't
He's
say
really
nice.
cool.
Kadir is not a nice person.
Okay,
He's an
genuinely
honest. He's
genuine
an honest
person.
He's a genuine,
Yes.
honest person. Exactly.
Exactly. He's very interesting. What are your
Alright.
motivations? Why are you here? What are your motivations? Yeah, I want to know. Oh, and what are your motivations? Finally, you managed to raise your voice. Kadir notices the effort and smiles softly.
So you haven't gone mute since the last time I saw you. Good. Well,
Wow.
I'm here for a selfish reason. I need to develop a rapport with you to better fulfill my obligations. The last time we
Okay.
met, I couldn't see you as my equal. Now that you've been accepted into the Camarilla, what choice do I have? I'd understand if you didn't want to see my face again, but I'm one of the faces of the New York City community, and as long as you're a part of it, it's going to be impossible to avoid me. Especially when I have business with you, and I do. As you might have guessed by now, one of my tasks is uncovering and understanding your bonds, and one of them might endanger our community.
Well, that's not menacing at all. Who is he talking about? Kaiser? Is this about Kaiser? Oh, sorry, I'm the narrator. Whoops. Kadir shakes his head.
That leper is bad news if you ask me, but who doesn't trade information with him these days? No, they're not a major player.
He produces a file from underneath his coat and passes it to you.
This is our troublemaker.
You open the file and see some printed photos. You freeze up as you recognize the face and are overwhelmed by a flood of repressed memories. Dun dun dun! Benjamin Newman. The asshole who made the last few years of your life a living hell. The sexual harassment, the mobbing, the way he kept delegating all his obligations to you without ever letting you reap the rewards of the fruits of your labor. The way he stole your soul. Goddamn prick. You look up at Kadir expecting answers.
Apparently your company is in trouble, lots of financial irregularities, and Mr. Newman is all too happy to testify that the one employee who just suddenly disappeared is to blame.
Oh, damn it. Of course
The story's
he is.
as fishy as it gets, but your disappearance is being investigated, and a lot of people are searching for you. It attracts attention to us, and as such, it must be stopped.
Does that mean I need to go back to work? Must be stopped. Sounds threatening. You dread thinking of what he's planning.
I'll arrange for you two to meet tomorrow, so that you can straighten the situation out and say goodbye to the life you've forsaken.
He'll arrange what? Your eyes must look like saucers right now.
Usually, these matters are left to my discretion, and I can't think of an easier solution. The lost sheep reappears, takes care of unfinished business, and disappears, never to be seen again. Nobody cares. It's simple. It's clean. No contrived schemes, no unnecessary victims. And it gives me an opportunity to learn more about you as I observe. When neonates interact with kin they used to hold dear, their true natures are laid bare for everyone to see. Neonates
are like the new vampires, guys, right?
Yep. Noobs,
Newbies.
babies, baby vampires, yep.
Mm-hmm. Of course he's invested in being kind to you, or he's making clear his self-serving intentions so that you don't start figuring them out yourself. Which is very actually upfront. Like, he's trying to be very upfront with you with his intentions so you don't get scared off later. That's pretty cool.
Any objections?
And any alternatives are probably worse. You shake your head.
Very well. I'll arrange a meeting and drive you there tomorrow. Better come up with a load of bull that's easy to swallow.
Tina said no. No objections. He disappears from the apartment, leaving you as confused as the last time he closed the door on you. God damn it. You need to think it through. Ugh. For a long time, you just sit in your haven, lost in your thoughts, thinking about how revenge is a dish. Thinking about how revenge is a dish best served cold. That was a Freudian slip because I was trying to say best, and then I said dish, and I said bish.
And then you said bitch.
Whoops.
And then you said bish.
I didn't say bitch. I said
please.
bish.
Bish dish.
There's a difference.
The best dish bish.
You know what bish is? Bish is when you're trying to say the word bitch. That's what bish is.
So, give me 1 second. I will be right back.
Yep, no problem. Now is my time, again, to have a private conversation with my viewers. I mean, our viewers, but, you know, my viewers. Don't tell Phantom Rev that I said that. He's not going to be happy with me. But we've been discussing a lot about what we want to do as we move forward. And like I said, we're trying to figure out a schedule and everything. We're trying to figure out proper times for everything. And we're trying to be as frequent as possible. I was just telling the viewers how we're trying to do more shows than less shows, because we started off with like once a week, and then we started to do like twice a week, and now we were in the talks of doing a bit more, but we'll see as we get there. I do want to be more active with our viewers so that we end up, you know, like, it's sort of like you come to watch us because you want to have fun with us, not because it's a show. You know what I mean? It's more like you hang out with friends.
Or they come to watch us because it is like a show. We'll have.
Oh, that's true. I mean, if you really think that, like, you know, this is the best show to watch, sure, that's cool with me.
It's a late night. It's a late night hole in the wall television series.
Okay.
All right. So our options: we can talk to Benoit, Faith and Myth Part 2, Somebody's Watching Me Part 2. Last time you failed to resolve the situation with your stalker, you have to get a handle on that one way or another. Go back to Hope, go back to D'Angelo, or talk with Tamika for the first time.
As you said before, the things like the stalker thing, it won't go away, right? I'll still have it available next night.
It'll still be available. It's not going away.
Okay.
Nope.
In that case, I do want to go speak to D'Angelo with the murder thing, because that's still
you don't want to talk to Tamika at
to
least once? Get to know her, maybe?
That's true. I should. But, like, you think I'm going to mess it up?
That's up to you. That's up to the decision. Feel free to ask questions.
God.
But,
okay, fine. Yeah. Let's go speak to Tamika and make sure that we don't blow this relationship like we did with the other one.
Jezebel's Childer. Sophie mentioned a gangrel neonite by the name of Tamika who's made herself a haven in Prospect Park. The Ferals aren't exactly a social bunch, even by kindred standards, but if you can keep her from clawing your eyes out just long enough, she might be persuaded to join you. Alright. And I'll do the narration here because you're going to talk to her.
Yeah, there's a female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make your way through the Grand Army Plaza, passing the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Arc. You can't help but feel a tinge of nostalgia as you picture the place as you've seen it countless times, in broad daylight, teeming with life. You quickly get over it and pass through the Northwest Gate, into Prospect Park. The park is its usual maze of unkempt foliage and dimly lit alleys. Silence hangs in the air, as it would at this time of night, and there doesn't appear to be any sign of kindred presence. You start to suspect Langley's sources fed her a bunch of bullshit, but you're not willing to give up just yet. As you ponder your options, you hear footsteps coming from behind a line of trees, quick, but evenly paced, most likely a late-night jogger. No vampire would take kindly to you feeding in their domain, but then again, perhaps you could kill two birds with one stone.
Okay, let's see. Walk around the park, seek out the Green Girl Haven.
Or you could feed.
Feeding opportunity, midnight jogger. There's no one around, right? It's completely empty?
It seems that way. But then again, what's it called? This might be gangrel domain, so there's that risk. But then again, maybe that way you feeding on them attracts their attention. So
I don't want to scare them or like make them mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to seek out the Green Girl Haven.
You head south, delving deeper into the less frequented section of the park. Passing a babbling stream, you make your way into the Rav. Is it Ravine or Ravine? I always mess up.
It's Ravine. It's Ravine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Home to some of the oldest trees in the park, it's the place to go when you want to get away from the crowd and enjoy some one-on-one time with nature. And that's during the day. At night, it's bound to be a gangrel's delight. Making your way through the brush, you come across a rocky crevice hidden behind a wobbly chain-link fence. You leap over the fence in a single bound, trying to land as quietly as kindredly possible. The crevice looks deep enough for you to think twice about jumping in. Instead, you peer into the darkness below, listening intently. In a split second, the air by the side of your head swirls like a vortex. Driven by sheer instinct, you lean back just as 5 finger-shaped razors cut through the darkness, missing your face by an inch.
Yo, that's some like X-Men shit right there.
Yep, Wolverine.
Yeah, I forgot the name for a second. That's why I said X-Men instead of Wolverine.
Claws from the finger, yeah.
Whoops.
A clawed shadow jumps back a few paces, preparing to correct its mistake. You catch a glimpse of the assailant. Looks pretty animalistic, alright. But he's not the one you're looking for. For starters, it's a he. Just as he's about to lunge at you, a snarl resounds from the bushes nearby, stopping your foe in their tracks. Out of the shadows emerges a young woman, baring her teeth ever so slightly. She walks over calmly, her eyes fixed on your assailant. Her presence is enough to make him reconsider attacking you, but not to withdraw completely. He glances over to her, puffing up his chest. Stay out of it, Tam. Smelled her first. Tam. How about that? She raises an eyebrow, but remains silent. Her compatriot turns back towards you. You shouldn't have come here, girlie. I'm gonna fuck you up so bad you'll be wearing your tongue as a fucking necktie. Tamika looks at you, expectantly.
Easy there, I'm not looking for a fight. Yeah. Easy there, big shot. You've made your point, okay? Confirmed badass, not looking for a fight.
Tamika tilts her head in a way that's barely noticeable, and yet strangely expressive.
Damn it!
She seems
shit.
disappointed.
These
people are animalistic, so they
damn it! I should have
strength.
I was thinking of like the second option, because the second option is me. It's like more Quasar, right? Like I would be like, "What, you want to fight? I'll fight you," that kind of thing. But I was like,
you want to be polite, except their way of being polite is putting them. Gangrel, they tend to respect strength.
Yeah. All right, I will beat them up. Let's go with that.
The man loosens up, his lips twisting into a wry smile. Clearly, you just gave him the confidence boost he needed. Figures. You know what you look like? Stuck up bitch. All high and mighty in a boardroom, but out in the wild, you're just a scared little girl. Well, guess what? You ain't getting off that easy, chicken shit. A fierce growl echoes across the alley, stopping the savage in his tracks. Tamika walks over to her comrade, her fangs glistening in the dim lamplight. She puts her hand on the side of his head, caressing his hair and tugging at his ear, as if she was scolding a puppy. She leans over and speaks in a voice that's firm, yet oddly affectionate. So Tamika,
How is she?
as you can notice, she's an African American woman.
Mhm.
I imagined her to be like kind of you ever heard Serena Williams, the African American tennis player, talk?
I actually haven't heard her talk, like, ever.
Okay.
I know her, but I have never heard her talk.
Okay, what about Oprah? You've
Yes.
at least okay. So think a bit of like a younger,
Like a wise,
like a younger 20-year-old Oprah.
Okay.
Give me one second.
I'll try. Without, like, I don't want to, like, offend anyone, so I'm not gonna use an accent here because duh. But I will do my best. Okay. It's okay, Raul. I'll handle it from here. No, that's more of a Sophie voice. It's okay, Raul. I'll handle it from here. Is that better? Or how are you thinking of it? How can you give me an example of how you think she should sound? Revan? Alrighty then. I'm alone. I find your normal accent offensive. Hey, my normal accent is like
Okay, I'm back.
It's apparently my normal accent is offensive, Revan.
I mean, how did you read this line?
No, my normal accent, like not fake accent. Okay. It's okay, Ro. No. How does Oprah sound? How does Oprah sound? Give me an example.
Not slow. She's again, Tamika's like young. She's like around in her early 20s. So think of what an African American girl in her early 20s, but she's mature.
Would it be like a rough voice because she growls? Like,
not necessarily. She just growls. She just growls because she's gangrel and she's animalistic. That doesn't necessarily mean rough.
It's okay, Raul. Is that better?
You could do like a little bit of I don't know if you ever heard like high school girls who are like, you know, Latina, like African American. I kind of imagine it like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's okay, Raul.
Not that casual.
Not that casual.
You could go for honestly, since you nor I are African American, you could go for like a calm, like informal accent. If that makes sense.
It's okay, Raul. I'll handle it from here. Like that.
Not too calm. That's way too calm.
Not too calm.
More
okay.
firm.
It's okay. It's okay, Raul. I'll handle it from here.
That's good. Yeah, we can go with that. Sure.
Okay. It's okay, Raul. I'll handle it from here.
The male gangrel looks at her with a mix of timidity and resentment. Then he turns back towards you. Fine. They're not worth the effort anyway. Having said his piece, Raul retreats into the shadows, although if you were to guess, he's likely to stay within earshot. With her companion gone, Tamika turns to you once more.
So, what do you want? Straight to the point. I like that. Straight to the point, huh? I like that. I don't care what you like. Now quit stalling. You have something to say? Say it. I want us to be friends. Oh no! Wait! That is kind of coming on too strong. I'm looking for partners. I come with an offer. I'm willing to offer you my services, such as they are. All I would hope for in return is a fruitful, long-lasting relationship. So you want to help me with something. Oh no, wait, this is not a good voice for her. So you want to help me with something because you want to be my friend? That about right? That's right. Well, it sounded better the way I said it, but yeah, that's the gist of it. Uh-huh.
She puts on a veneer of skepticism, but you can tell she's intrigued.
That's very earnest of you. It's also kind of silly, but I think I'm okay with it. What I'm not okay with is putting my ass on the line and getting stabbed in the back for my trouble. So why exactly should I trust you? Should I trust anything you say? What's Jezebel?
Her sire who ran away, who left the city, gone missing.
Oh, that's a bad idea. I should not bring her up. I can make it worth your while. I don't expect you to. Let's go straightforward. She likes being straightforward, I'll be straightforward. I don't expect you to. Not yet, anyway. Good. Because my trust is earned, not given. Then let me earn it. Then let me earn it. A few nights of your time, that's all I ask.
For a brief moment, she stands there, motionless, looking straight into your eyes as if trying to size you up. Finally, she looks away. Looks like she's come to a decision.
Just so we're clear, I don't trust you. I have no reason to. Frankly, you sound more lost than I am. Still, there's something about you. You look like you should reek of bullshit, but somehow you don't. So I'll give you a chance to prove yourself. I have some outstanding business to take care of. I will let you know once it's done. Meet me here and we'll see what you're really made of.
And with that, Tamika disappears into the night. That went pretty well, all things considered.
Whoa, okay, so I didn't destroy that relationship completely.
Nope,
awesome, okay. Whew, I did something
rest.
right for once. Okay, yeah, now we have to rest. You think Kadir will help me with that stalker guy? If I ask?
If you get the chance to, we'll see.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is me? Okay. Knock knock. You'd ask who's there, but you don't know if the sheriff of New York City would play along. You open the door, you see him toying with his car keys that he's holding in his hand.
Ready to go, fledgling?
You don't feel like it, but you give him a nod nevertheless.
Excellent. Stay close.
He leads you down to the vehicle he's parked nearby. Once again, he takes the wheel, literally and figuratively. Everything inside is just the way you remember it, down to the rearview mirror reflecting the intense stare of your guide. However, the trip itself feels notably different. The last time Kadir drove you around, he was forcibly dragging you away from your old life. This time, he's pulling you back into it. Goddamn, Newman. You're getting violent just thinking about him.
Let me tell you how it's going to go. As I said, I've arranged a meeting between you and your kin. It's going to take place somewhere you should know very well. I'll watch over you two from a safe distance to make sure you adhere to the rules. You should know those very well, but I'll reiterate just so you can't ever say I didn't warn you. Don't do anything that would violate the Masquerade. Don't establish some secret routes of contact. I will know. Do treat it as the last time you two will meet. Take this chance to wrap everything up. Here's your story. You're fine, found yourself at a crossroads, decided to radically change your life and move out of the city. The subway is unbearable, the rent is too high. They've heard it all. However, you do not appreciate being accused of a crime you didn't commit, so you're back both to clear your name and strike fear into the heart of the real culprit. By now, you should know how to cause fear among the living, right?
He smirks at you.
Have fun. As long as you don't leave a mess for me to clean up, we should be good.
The car makes a sudden turn.
I'll leave the finer details to you. Just be so kind and don't make me regret it.
You can sense he's going out of his way for you, but doesn't try to force you into gratitude by stating it plainly. If you know, you know. You'll see if you're worthy of his aid.
We're here.
You take a look around and recognize your destination. He was right. It is a familiar place. It's the office in which you wasted the best years of your life.
Newman should be up there. Apparently someone is blackmailing him with documents proving his penchant for embezzlement. The poor guy is stuck in his office, and he's probably pretty shaken up. The documents don't exist, but it would be a shame if someone went there, wiped the floor with the man, found proof that he pilfered the funds, and forced him to admit his crimes.
He turns off the engine and relaxes comfortably in his seat. You sit silently leave the car and head straight for Newman's office. The elevator ride up just doesn't seem to end. After what feels like 5 hours, but in reality is closer to 30 seconds, you finally reach your floor. Your ex-boss is sitting in his office, just like Kadir said. He looked, how can you put it, as if he's just Googled body language of alpha males and attempted to poorly copy the most cartoonish posture in order to intimidate the blackmailer. Out of habit, you take a deep breath as you step inside his office.
Layla?
He immediately relaxes. It's just Layla, his eyes say as a sly grin appears beneath them.
Forget to ask for a vacation? People were worried, you know. Not to mention, overwork to hell and back. Then overwork some more. Someone had to take over your responsibilities. And guess what? Just as we started digging into your work, some unexpected financial irregularities started popping up. We'll need to work on a common story to explain those, you see?
You keep quiet and just stare him down. The poor idiot still thinks he's the predator in this room. Let's see how long it takes for him to realize his mistake. Newman senses that you're different somehow. He attempts to stare back but fails to withstand your glare. He starts to wonder what's going on and quickly arrives at a conclusion.
Wait a second. So you're the one who sent me that message? Now that's a laugh.
He starts approaching you.
Sweetheart, if I'm going down, you're going down with me. You think you could convince anyone that you never knew what was going on around here? Fat chance. And even if you did, you know my friends. They'd never let you live it down.
He's right in front of you, licking his lips, pondering the best way to display his complete physical superiority. You won't give him the chance. Use him like a punching bag. Throw him outside the building. Presence. Scare the shit out of him. Let's do that. Before Newman blinks, you're standing in front of him with your arms crossed. After he blinks, your hand is already on his throat. He freezes up. Yup, Tahatina, yup, I'm gonna scare the shit out of him. Let's make him beg for me to leave. He watches you get in his face and slowly brandish your long fangs. A loud, throaty, inhuman growl rings out through the office and begins to morph into a violent hiss. For a moment, your ex-boss can't identify the sound of the source of the overwhelming sound, or rather, his brain refuses to accept that your relatively small body is capable of generating a noise like this. As he begins to understand and process the unnatural sight of your fangs, he is gradually overpowered by an animalistic fear that shatters his entire worldview. You were supposed to be a victim. Why are you a threat? Why did reality break? You slowly tighten your grip on his neck. Not hard enough to trigger a fight response, but enough to strike deep fear into his heart. Kneel. Newman complies with your demand, squealing softly, a single tear making its way down the stubble on his cheek.
Fuck.
Kitsune fires like he straight up broke the man. Obey.
Joke's on you, that's his kink. I'm kidding. This guy is screwed.
Oh
His mind
no.
is broken. I'll do whatever you want. Just don't kill me, please.
You gather your strength and throw him, slamming him against the desk.
Fuck.
A born boardroom predator has met his better in the place he least expected it. You slowly start walking toward him.
Stop. I get it. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it.
I can barely hear you. which kind of fits in the scene. With shaking hands, he scrambles towards the safe on a shelf. He opens and takes out some documents inside.
This is what you want, right? This is what you want?
You rip the papers from his hands and browse them. These should be enough to, as Kader would put it, prove his penchant for embezzlement.
I'll clear your fucking name. Tell them somebody else.
You twist your heel into his hand. He screams.
I did it! I'll tell them I did it!
Leave in silence. You simply turn around and start walking away.
Thanks, Kitsune.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Kitsune Fire. That was awesome.
Honestly,
she said that our...
Yeah, I saw what she wrote. I would be a lot louder, like, with more, but it's kind of late. The fam is sleeping in the next room, so I brought myself close to my mic.
Imagine begging for forgiveness while your family is, like, in the next room and you're, like, screaming in the top of your lungs.
Imagine the walls are so paper thin they can hear you and they think, like, holy shit, what are you doing this late at night?
Yeah, who's got blackmail on you? What's going on? You walk into the elevator, press the ground floor button, and wave at Newman as the doors start closing. He mumbles something under his breath and winces in pain. I made another guy mumble, basically. I've become a shell of himself. Awesome.
You also messed up a couple of alliances, so let's not forget about that.
That is true, but we don't talk about that, because it doesn't exist anymore. I can't go back.
Oh, it does.
Please, no. I don't want to face Agathon as my enemy. This guy's kind of scary. Back to Kader's car. Once you close the door, he instantly puts his foot on the gas pedal.
Walking off the pitch with no regrets. Said everything you had to say.
Oh, that's me. Wait, what? Look, I didn't see myself on the screen, so I didn't realize it was my line. I wiped the floor with him and got the documents that should keep him in check. That asshole will be looking over his shoulder constantly for the rest of his life. Kader smiles deviously.
Looks like you can take care of business, as expected. I don't need to tell you to hang on to those documents, but keep in mind that you can use them for more than a security guarantee. We're always looking for more contacts among the big fish. Once you settle in, you can use what you know of Newman to convince the elders that he's better off as your ghoul.
Ooh. Now that's an enticing thought. You're surprised at his suggestion. The car speeds up to cross an intersection before the light turns red. You give Kader a hard look. Why are you not mean to me? Thank you. A simple thank you. Thanks. It doesn't feel like a, how do you call it, very vampire thing to say, but you say it nevertheless. He's visibly taken aback, and his usual proud brow smooths out for a moment. Then, he takes on a serious, slightly sorrowful expression.
Don't suck up to me, kid. Mr. Bad Guy is still here, and without a doubt, he'll go back to decapitating suckers like you any time now.
He's just trying to put on like this like cold guy demeanor, but I'm telling you right now, as Layla, I like him, and I'm gonna, if there is an option to, I will pursue him, like straight up. Like
there are no
he's
romances.
Actually cool.
There are no romances
Damn
in this
it.
game.
But you have like stuff like a freaking like snuff, almost fake snuff film show, but you don't have like a romance route. What the hell?
Nope, not in this visual novel.
Damn
this
it.
isn't. This was made by Western developers, not Japanese developers.
Gosh.
It ain't no Doki Doki Literature Club or Hatoful Boyfriend, dude.
We should play those. The car starts slowing down.
If we played Doki Doki, oh my god, you would probably run out of breath.
Yeah, because
like,
voicing all the girls' lines?
Voicing all the girls' lines, yeah.
I think Doki Doki's like not really something we should play. I think we should play the Hatoful Boyfriend instead. It's really fun.
I'll make a bunch of pigeon noises as best as I can.
Exactly. That's perfect. Just every time your voice actor, just go bakak.
Baka, and then like there's like a rooster, a chicken. I'll be like baka, baka, cluck, cluck.
There are like different types of birds, so I'm just gonna be like, before while we prepare for the stream, I'll just send you like a bunch of different voice, like
I'll make
bird
a virtual.
sounds.
I'll make a virtual soundboard and like just play those bird noises.
No, it has to be you.
Oh god.
The car starts slowing down.
We're here.
You look out the window and see your haven.
Take care. I'll see you around. Just pray I don't have to see you too often. Came here for the vampire con. I'll stay for pigeon sounds. Oh god.
That is basically the description of the Hollow Tesseract. That's what it should be.
We should just change the name of our like channel from the Hollow Tesseract to the
Pigeon sounds.
Pigeon Palace.
Pigeon Palace.
Pigeon
No,
Pigeon Ponds.
That's only if we're doing just the Hatsupo boyfriend stuff. I feel like that should be our tagline for our channel.
We rebrand
forward.
temporarily to a bunch of pigeon people. Yep.
Yep. You know what? Let's get a furry suit. Let's get that in here. We'll go on camera with furry
So actually,
suits. Yep.
Pigeon Palace is like the name of my. So among my IRL friends, that's like like an inside joke between us because it's a League reference. So one of my friends, he plays a character in League called Azir, and Azir is like an emperor. Like think Dune, fantasy Dune, sand place, and he's like this emperor. Like he's a god emperor of sorts, and one of his forms is the form of a bird, and it's like a bird that resembles a pigeon. And one of his taunts in the game, all League characters have taunts. He turns into a little pigeon and he makes pigeon sounds and he goes, "A pigeon walks into a bar." And imagine this big god emperor guy in this intimidating voice who goes, "A pigeon walks into a bar." And so like we nicknamed like, since our friend likes to play that character, it's one of his mains, we call him like the pigeon, the bird person, birdman, and like maybe Pigeon Palace could work.
In Dota 2, there's literally bird people. Like, I think, what was it? It's Skyrath Mage. He's literally a bird person. And then, Vengeful Spirit used to be, she's a fallen bird person. So she used to be, like, one of them. She used to be the princess, actually. And then she got betrayed by her sister and got backstabbed and got her wings burned off or something.
I was literally about to say, like, she got her wings clipped or something.
Yeah. Exactly. So like that's pretty cool actually. It's surprising that both League and Dota have bird people.
I mean, bird people are a pretty common like fantasy trope, right? So at some point
actually in the D&D game I'm playing right now with a couple of my friends.
Are you a bird person?
No, I'm not. But we we literally went to no, hear me out. We went to like a mailroom, and the person in the mailroom was an Arakakra, which is the name for the species
bird race
of birds. Yeah, exactly. And it was a bird person, and this person was like super nice, and like they were like helping us mail our letters to family and stuff. So it was pretty fun.
That's nice compared to, so this is on a slight tangent. I read a bunch of RPG horror stories. If you don't know the subreddit r/RPG horror stories, check it out. It's basically a bunch of stories about people who were in a D&D game, any tabletop game, and like something embarrassing, cringy, or like disgusting happened. And there was one where god damn it, why do people who play Tabaxi, they're the cat people race?
Yeah.
Like, why are so many of these people who play Tabaxi like cringy weeb people who like they give a bad name to Tabaxi, that's all I'm saying.
Well, okay, that's true. That's because it's cat people, and you know when you put cat people in a fantasy setting,
but
sometimes.
They're not
like.
See, like I could understand, like if you've played Final Fantasy XIV, in Final Fantasy XIV, the MMO, there is a race called the Mikot. The Mikoti, and the Mikoti are like cat people. They look like the typical anime cat people, like the boy with cat ears, the cutesy effeminate boy with cat ears, or like the really cute like sexualized girl with cat ears. They don't look like Tabaxi. Don't look like that. They literally look like an actual tiger, like an actual tiger lion. And
it's not like a person with cat ears or anything. It's literally a cat on two legs.
They're like Khajiit. They're basically Khajiit from Elder Scrolls. Khajiit has waves, but do you have coin?
I don't know if we have cat people in my D&D one, but yeah, I honestly, would play one, but like not as a cringy way. It's more
No,
so
not
like
the cringy,
this is a
like
race.
like an actual
This
cat.
is
Yeah,
a
exactly.
race. This is a race of people. They have their own seriousness, that kind of thing. Oh, we do. So Kitsune Fire is actually my DM. So
Oh, nice.
we do have Tabaxi.
So she can
something
tell
like
us.
Tabaxi.
She can tell us all the embarrassing stuff about how you messed up with your roles, and
Actually, what she can tell you is how my two kobolds actually infiltrated a bunch, like some okay, they thought it was a necromancer, but it wasn't a necromancer. It was like this like just like guy, and they infiltrated his like his
Lair?
room, and they accused him of being a necromancer, which is really like taboo in that place. And
Oh,
they had this.
yikes.
I think they ripped. They used their claws and they like ripped the guy's like couch to like shreds as they were trying to like scale it up.
What the
And
hell?
then they fucked this cat. So like not literally fucked with this cat, but like they
Okay, that
they almost traumatized his cat.
You really want to be careful with your words. When you said they fucked his cat, I'm like,
No, they fucked with his cat.
Okay, please, like,
Very
phrasing,
different.
Phrasing.
Very different.
Now,
But yeah, and they almost both of them were dead at some point, but not really.
yikes.
It's a long story that we should probably get into another time.
We can get into that another time. Let's continue the story we're currently doing. But that was a nice
We'll just have like we'll just have like a weird like chat stream.
We'll have
where
a
we
fireside,
talk about our D&D stories.
chat. We'll have a fireside
Yeah,
chat where we
that'd
talk
be really
about
cool.
RPG horror stories. We could do that. That'd be a good-
We
cool
should do
idea.
that.
Yeah.
Yep. You leave the car and start walking toward your haven, thinking about God there, saying can't say you're fond of him, with what with the welcome he gave you and all, but for tonight you can't say you aren't either. You're gonna need some more time to understand him, that's for sure.
Okay. We have time. Let's see. There's Benoit, person following you. Oh, there's that nosy reporter. He's back again.
Why is he back?
A Nosy Reporter Part 2. You've taken care of Frank Darty, but apparently there's someone still staking out Sophie's apartment. He's not that stupid, is he? There's Hope, there's D'Angelo.
Let's go do
the
Let's
reporter?
go do that. Yeah, because I want to help Sophie.
Okay. Go for it.
The weather is cold and windy. Yep.
Oh yeah, go. I was gonna say, what's it called? Since I'm gonna be reading his lines, you might as well narrate here as well.
Sounds good. The weather is cold and windy as you walk to Sophie's apartment. As a vampire, that doesn't matter anymore. You may have been saddled with the eternal hunger, but at least you can ignore the wind chill.
So, you can, but... So I looked into the rulebook again for the exact fatal things to a vampire. And they are sunlight, decapitation, and extreme cold, very extreme cold temperatures can actually be fatalistic to a vampire to an extent.
So
and
no
then
cryogenic freezing.
No cryogenic freezing for them. Well, it depends. It doesn't kill them, but it like very heavily immobilizes them. And the last
Now
thing
how am I
is,
going to become immortal? Damn it.
You're already immortal. What are you talking about?
That's the joke. That's the joke.
Whoosh.
That's the joke. Oh my god.
Badum-tis.
The sarcasm wasn't thick enough. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Just as you come to the door of Sophie's building, she storms out, murmuring into her phone. Yes, I know. Don't worry. I trust you to handle it.
I'll narrate here.
You've heard... Sure.
Since Sophie's talking. You've heard Sophie talk to her associates before. It's always the same. Generalities and vague suggestions. It makes you think she's involved in mysterious machinations, yet doesn't tell you anything. Sophie is dressed to kill, but there's nothing unusual in that. She likes to make an impression. A black car with tinted windows is waiting for her in front of the door. A chauffeur steps out to open the car door for her. Sophie notices you.
I'm glad you're here. You're in the neighborhood. Sorry, I'm glad you're in the neighborhood. If you could look around for me one more time, that would be wonderful. You told me you've gotten rid of that reporter. Turns out he's still snooping around.
Sophie is very good at communicating disappointment. She doesn't have to do much to make it clear that she's unhappy to have to return to this issue.
I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. After tonight, he won't trouble you anymore. Good. Don't disappoint me. The reporter talked his way into the building during the day. Once the doorman understood what was happening, he threw him out. He showed old pictures of me to the neighbors. It's very awkward, you understand.
Sophie disappears into the car, and the chauffeur closes the door behind her. You watch as the sleek vehicle disappears into the Manhattan traffic, just one anonymous car among many. Best sit down somewhere and devise a plan of action. You go to a nearby diner, settle into a booth, and order a coffee from a steely-eyed Latino waitress. As she brings you your cup, you describe Frank Doherty to her on the off chance she's seen something. Just as she's about to answer, you happen to look outside. Something catches your eye. The diner is brightly lit, so you lean closer to the window to see the street through it. You got lucky. Frank is standing on the sidewalk on the other side of the street, looking at something on his phone. You slide out of the booth, throwing a few small bills on the table. Mumbling something to the waitress, you step outside.
You follow Frank covertly.
For a reporter, Frank isn't terribly observant. You keep your distance, hiding behind people in cars, but he doesn't look around. It seems like he wants to find a private nook to inspect the photos he took tonight. An alley. He ducks in, and you follow. Alright, now you can narrate here.
I'll narrate, yeah.
Oh god, it's you again! Please, I'm working on a different story, I swear.
Please. Frank retreats deeper into the alley. Let's have a friendly chat. In that case, you won't mind a little friendly chat.
I'm all about being friendly. Okay, I'm sorry I tried to bullshit you. Just tell me how I can help you.
Let me see. I thought we agreed there's no story. Your employer trusts you too much. Why are you here? I thought we agreed there's no story. No, actually, why are you here? You're sneaking around with the camera again. Why?
I'm a reporter. I report. That's just my job. Look, I don't want any trouble. I can see that you're serious. There's something to Sophie Langley. I think you know what it is.
You take a long, hard look at Frank Doherty. He's a tenacious man, but not brave. After the last time you met, you were sure he had been dealt with. Where did he find the courage to come here again? By the way, just a question. There are no blood marks on the edge of the screen. Is that just me?
Right now there's no blood marks, yeah.
Okay, so like, it's fine, right? Like, to use powers and stuff.
I mean, sure.
What? That was a really weird sure, and now I'm very scared, but, okay. Is this worth the pain?
You can
What's
use
your real
powers.
angle?
You can use powers anytime, but
Yeah.
every time you use powers. So in the actual VTM tabletop game, anytime you want to use a power, you have to do what's called a rouse roll. You have to roll dice, and if it lands on a 1 or a 0, if it lands on a 1, you can use your powers without being hungry. If it lands on a 0, that means you will be hungry by using these powers, and your hunger meter will go up. And this game assumes that every time you use your powers, you'll become hungry. If you become hungry, you might need to feed sometimes. So if you see a feeding, if you see a big blood splatter, and you see a feeding opportunity, you might want to take it.
Probably take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kitsune Fire's like, you won't know until you know. That's why I'm scared.
She's a dungeon master. She knows. Like, she knows my shirt.
It's just that like emoji, like where like you completely shrug, and you have that smirk. Yeah. What's your real angle? Yep. So, I think we've passed the 2-hour mark for this stream so far. I wonder how long we're gonna keep playing, because like we did kind of want this to be impromptu for today, but I'm having fun, and I'm okay with continuing. Hey, so I'm gonna say, what's your angle?
Second option?
Yeah, what's your real angle? I like you, Frank. You don't give up. What's your real angle here?
Everybody plays an angle. That's one of the things you learn in my profession. You're smart. You know that there'll be others after me. There's a real story, they'll come and find it. Your best shot is with a friendly reporter. Someone you can trust. Someone like me. So what do you say? Get ahead of the story? It'll be good for you and Miss Langley too.
Almost believe it, but something about Frank feels off. Trust in your blood to convince Frank. Do you have any personal interest in that? Is this about blackmail?
Second option?
Yeah. You've already sunk pretty low, Frank, but blackmail? That's rock bottom. You sure you want to go that far?
No, I still have my pride. I've never done this work for money. It's a lifestyle, a calling.
Calling to blackmail. Working on a speech, are we?
Which one?
Working on a speech, are we? I can see you're working on your Pulitzer acceptance speech.
Pulitzer.
Acceptance speech.
That's... You know what that is, right? Or
yeah, it's the Pulitzer Prize for writers.
Journalism.
For journalism.
Yep. Fuck you, asshole. Sometimes I just need some extra money, that's all.
So he's doing it for the money. Where does extra money come from? Now we're finally getting somewhere. Where does extra money come from? I know someone's paying him to do this. Where does this extra money come from?
There's a guy. He's paying me, that's all. But I can't talk about that.
Drink Frank dry. No, he's gonna taste like shit.
I mean... Drink Frank dry? Do you know what drinking dry means?
Yeah, like completely killing him.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't want to do that. And I'm pretty sure he tastes like shit. And also, he's right outside her haven. That's a terrible fucking idea.
No, it's not. You're in a random... This game uses the same pictures a lot of times for different scenes.
Oh.
It's not... Just because this alley looks like the one outside your haven, it doesn't mean it's the one outside your haven. It's just a random alley, but they use the same picture. Because, hey, it's a video game, and they couldn't... Hiring an artist to do this multiple different scenes costs more money.
It's very detailed, so...
Yeah. This is just a random alley.
Like...
If this was outside your haven, it would say, this is an alley outside your haven. All you know, this is some random alley in the middle of New York.
See, I feel like if I drink him dry... Hear me out, okay? If I drink him dry, that other guy, whoever's paying him, is going to get someone else to come, right? It's not going to end. Right, just with his death. So my idea, my running theory here is if I offer him to work for me and pay him off, that way at least I'll be able to switch over whoever he's working for. You know what I mean? Like make him work for me. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a better idea. What do you think? What do you think, Revan?
You're the decision maker here. I am merely the conductor. I mean, your logic is sound. Your logic is sound.
Okay, I'm gonna make it work for me. What's the worst that could happen? Kitchen or fire? Don't even. No, like that's what she says whenever we have a big choice.
Kitchen or fire? If you ever do another D&D group and you need people, I'm down to join. I think I'd enjoy you as a DM. Even though I've been with a lot of DMs that have screwed over players. Screwed over not in a bad way, but like as in they tortured the characters.
Trust me. Like, okay, so what we have in our D&D thing, like just a quick off-rail thing, we have something called knives, as she calls it, and she's asked us, what are your character's knives? And what we mean by that is, what can the DM use to emotionally hurt you, as in by hurting your character? So like, whether it's family, whether it's a lover, whether it's a job, a nemesis, an opportunity, something like that.
Psychological trauma.
Exactly. And I love it. I love everything about it. The fact that she calls it knives is the best because she can use it on us. It's
for a good story. Yep.
I'm gonna make this guy work for me.
Okay.
Tell you what, Frank, I'll make this easy for you. Work for me and I'll make your life easier. I want to know who's after Sophie Langley, and you can get me that information. Who knows? Maybe this will become a lasting, lucrative relationship. Frank is taken aback by your suggestion. Still, he clearly needs a friend.
I don't know. I mean, there are people leaning on me. They won't take kindly to it if I help someone else.
I know how valuable you are. Let's suck up to this guy. I know how valuable you are, Frank.
Some days I get nothing but disrespect. I wouldn't mind a change to all that. Tell you what, next time something comes up, I'll give you a call. Maybe I'll have something you can do for me as well.
You sound like a pro. Quid pro quo. I love that. You sound like a pro. Again, let's feed his ego. I can feed on whatever I want. You sound like a pro. You've done this before.
I am a pro.
Frank hesitates for a second, as if he was going to say something more. He takes one last look at you, turns, and leaves the alley, disappearing into the crowd. You're left wondering whether that was a good choice. Frank is not reliable, that much is clear, but perhaps you can benefit from him anyway. Isn't that what kindred do? Play people and turn them into puppets? Haha! It might be a terrible idea, but it's something that I have done. And just like Agathon, I need to face the consequences.
Okay. Choices.
Choices. Let's go meet D'Angelo. Because I've been putting that off for a while.
The gift that keeps on giving. It's been a while since you've heard from D'Angelo. Bleh. Words, how do they work? Maybe he's busy sticking his nose where it doesn't belong, or maybe he's pissed off the wrong people and is now rotting in a ditch somewhere. Either way, now's a good time as I need to check up on him. Okay, we'll do this last one, and how long have we been streaming? 2 hours. Okay, yeah, we'll do this last one and we'll pause here.
Let's finish this night, and then we can pause. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Because I just want to, do this, and then do the stalker thingy.
Go for it.
Okay, so this is me?
Yeah.
You make your way through the now familiar rusty maze of the grain terminal, and up the stairs to D'Angelo's office. This time, however, you find the room firmly locked. There is a note pinned to the door. You rip it off and scan the crooked lettering.
There's been another one at the scene now. I'm the bad story. Owner of Pulaski and Garvey. ASAP.
Okay, wait. Wait, I wanted to read that. Damn it, can we go back? I think there's a code. Okay, there
is no code. There is no code. There is no code.
Damn it! I thought there was a code. Okay, never mind.
You met D'Angelo. He's a very straightforward person. You think he would bullshit around with stupid
Why
code.
the shitty leathering?
Is
it just because, he's Nosferatu and his arm shakes and stuff?
Could be.
Okay. Looks like D'Angelo could use your help. Blah, blah, blah. As you approach the address D'Angelo gave you, a squad car passes you by, sirens blaring. Following it, you make a turn from DeKalb Avenue into Pulaski Street. Sure enough, the street is awash with red light, and the 4 or so police cars parked on the nearest corner next to an ambulance confirms that you're in the right place. You move closer to what appears to be a New York's finest convention, looking around in hopes of spotting a familiar, if not altogether pleasant face. No such luck. True to his Nosferatu lineage, D'Angelo is nowhere to be seen. You stop on the sidewalk across the street, trying not to draw attention to yourself. All of a sudden, one of the cops standing by the entrance of the building looks straight at you. He does a double take and you instinctively look away. Bad move, you think to yourself, as you notice him making his way toward you. I'm not suspicious. Please, officer. Calmly wait for him to approach. Start walking away. No, calmly wait for him to approach. If I start walking away or make a run for it, that's suspicious as fuck, so calmly wait. Not allowing panic to set in, you stand your ground, doing your best ordinary citizen impression. The cop waddles across the street towards you, his sense of authority putting the extra spring in his step. You try to remain silent. You try to remain calm, even as he puts his hands He puts his hand on his holster. Shit. You can't help but mouth the word. This is about to get messy. Suddenly he stops, as if instinctively realizing that he was just inches away from a grisly demise. He waves at you dismissively and yells in a thick Brooklyn accent.
Hey, this here's an active crime scene. Be on your way.
Relieved but try not to show it, you put on your grumpy New Yorker face and start walking away. This here road ain't big enough for the both of us. As you make your way past a dark alleyway, someone grabs you by the arm and pulls you into the shadows. If the smell of cigars and cheap cologne don't give him away, the gravely voice surely does. Sure does. God damn it, words.
Nice save. I mean, dumb to show your face around here in the first place. But still. Come on, I'm parked around the corner.
What's up with this, really deep voice? Oh my god.
He's an Nosferatu.
True. Before you know it, you're sitting in the passenger seat of a busted old sedan, parked half a block away, giving you a nice view of the police gathering.
And also, he smokes cigars a lot, and, so...
Yeah. Alright, let's see. Feeding opportunity, we can take let me talk to them.
So you could basically...
I'll get a send.
You can basically feed on the police. You could talk to them, let them persuade them to let you in, or you could sneak in.
How many police are there? Like a bunch?
Let's see. It seems like...
It was just the one guy?
it's a police gathering, so there's a couple of officers.
Let's not do that. Let me talk to them. I'll get us in. Why don't I talk to them? I might be able to convince them to let us in. He gives you a look as if you just let rip a massive fart. Oh my god.
Right. Look, kid, it's not that I don't trust you, but how about we give that raw animal magnetism of yours a dry run, huh?
Pretend I'm one of the cops guarding the entrance. Convince me to let you in. Oh, that's your line.
Oh.
Pretend I'm one of the cops guarding the entrance. Convince me to let you in.
I'll pose as a detective. Yeah, I'll pose as a detective. Evening, gents. Detective Kowalski.
Kowalski.
Kowalski. Fuck. Evening, gents. Detective Kowalski. Looks like I'm late to the party. Mind filling me in?
You've never seen that meme? Kowalski analyzed with the penguin? The 3D penguin?
I did not. I didn't. Okay. What is that from?
It's from this, I forget the name, it's a children's show. It's like a 3D CGI, and there's like this penguin character named Kowalski. It's like, Kowalski, analysis.
Sounds like some Japanese thing.
Kowalski, huh? Never heard of you. What precinct? Who's your CO? Exactly.
I'll be fine. Trust me, I'll think of something.
Fair enough. Go get him, Tiger. I'll stay close by, just in case things go south.
You get out of the car, slamming the door a bit too loudly for your own good. As you cross the street, you already feel like you've made a big mistake. Oh well, too late now to turn back. Might as well give it a shot. Give it your best shot. As you approach the cops, your whole body tenses up. It's funny that this would make you nervous, considering all you've seen in the past few nights, and yet it does. The two officers seem to be engaged in a heated debate regarding last night's Mets game. You stop just a few steps away and open your mouth. Whatever's about to come out, it better be good. You don't think they're Kowalski. Presence, make the officers let you in.
Third option?
Let's go. Yup. Super stealth activated.
It's not even stealth Kitsune. Like, there was a stealth option.
It's straight up, heading straight in.
So, just for reference, Nosferatu, they can turn invisible. So there was a way to
Yeah.
literally sneak in and everything. And
But only he did it, not
Quasar-
me.
no, he would have like helped. He would have like unlocked a back door. That's all. I'll just tell you that's the option I took, and he unlocks like a back door for you and everything. Like it's impolite, but you decided you wanted to talk to the cops. All right.
And then, just as you're about to weasel your way into their unsuspecting minds, you freeze. One of the cops notices you and gives you a slight nod.
Yeah, hey, if you're going in, make sure you stay away from 209. Active crime scene, you know?
And with that, they get back to arguing whether or not the umpire was bought and paid for or not. Utterly confused, you piece together what's left of your senses and hurry past them. So, in the end of the day, it's New York cops, and it doesn't freaking matter.
It's more like, it's more like you already used presence and you made yourself like super known. What presence does is it makes your whole body, the way you look like, seem like it enhances
like you're
whatever
bigger than you are.
bigger than you are, like more important, enhances your UN stuff. Yeah.
Inside the building, D'Angelo stands in the hallway, dumbfounded. As you open your mouth, he stops you with a gesture.
Don't even talk to me right now.
He's so mad that it worked. In an awkward silence, you both make your way up to the second floor. Finding the crime scene proves easy enough. You just follow the yellow police tape, and before you know it, you're standing in the middle of what used to be someone's living room. The place has been completely trashed. Knocked over furniture, shattered glass, the works. Looking around, you notice a sign scribbled on a nearby wall. It reads, "His gift, our fate." You're no expert in typography, but the crooked letters look similar to the ones you saw back in Red Hook. Sure enough, there's very little in terms of blood, save for the occasional stain that's about to end up on the carpet once you toss someone through a glass coffee table. D'Angelo leans against the doorway. He seems lost in his thoughts, sucking on a cigarette, compulsively mumbling to himself. You lean over a bit, trying not to make it obvious that you're listening in. He managed to catch the last few lines of his monologue.
The night's been kind to them so far, but the questions kept piling on, and now they found themselves amidst the wreckage of another life.
Can I just say how much I love this guy?
It was up to them to sift through the debris and come up with a neat little pile of answers.
Suddenly, he tenses up, as if sensing your eyes upon him.
Feel free to chip in, kid. Anything catch your eye?
No blood, same as before. Well, I just said that.
At least none spilled. So, what does that tell us?
Might be the kindred we're after. That this was a feeding, that the killer is kindred, might be the one we're after.
Might doesn't make right. Let's not make assumptions till we see the body. Still, the pattern is consistent. God damn it, I hate where this is going.
Why? Looks like you were right. Why? The thin blood angle seems to check out. It looks like you were right.
Yeah? Well, this time I'd rather be wrong, alright? Anyway, looks like we're not getting any more out of this place. No way around it. We gotta see the body.
Are you protecting the thin bloods? Yeah. You have a thing for thin bloods, D? Because it looks like you're desperately trying to prove that they're not involved in this.
Look, kid, the Duskborn have shitty luck as it is. If I'm gonna accuse one of them of breaching the Masquerade, the least I can do is some goddamn due diligence.
He shoots you a scornful look.
He's basically
Probably
thin
shouldn't
blood.
have. Yeah.
Thin blood are very they're like a limbo, not human quite, not vampire either. And they're looked down upon as inferior because they're incomplete, hence thin blood. And he basically kind of feels sorry for them. Nosferatu, despite their monstrous looks, they're actually the most humane. They have the highest humanity among all of the clans.
Ah. Yeah, you said that before.
Mm-hmm.
Look at goddamn Detective Wood.
He mumbles to himself for a short while, but ultimately he regains his composure and his train of thought.
Luckily for us, I might know someone who could get us an audience with our dearly departed.
To your surprise, he pulls out a cell phone, a busted old clamshell. He flips it open and spends a good minute browsing through the contacts, muttering to himself. Finally, he makes a call.
Hey, you know who this is? Yeah. That favor you owe me? Time to deliver. Listen, I know you got a fresh one. The murder in Bed-Stuy. I need to take a look. Yes, now. Yeah, you'd better.
With that, he hangs up, giving you his trademark wary smile. Are we good? Well, actually, yeah, never mind. Wait, are cell phones forbidden?
I was gonna say, like, you sure you don't want to ask, but
why
you
is that even an
chose-
option?
Because remember what Hope
Yeah,
told you?
that's why the last second I was like, wait, and then it was clicked. Okay, whatever. So, are we good?
Yeah, we're good. Next stop, Kings County.
So to answer your question, cell phones, they're not forbidden, but every line of communication is monitored. So what people generally
by the
is,
NSA.
Yeah. So generally people talk vaguely, or what they do is a lot of people have what's called purple phones. Purple phones are a secured line, and they're like a flip phone, and it's purple. And it's a secured line, and you can talk openly on that. So I forget if this is D'Angelo's purple phone or not. Probably it might be a purple phone.
Okay. Should I continue?
Go for it.
Cool. Kings County, the bleeding heart of Brooklyn. It's beating as hard as ever, with ambulance after ambulance bringing in sick and wounded New Yorkers who pump through the tight arteries of the healthcare system. Hashtag Medicare. It's a dangerous place for a critter to show their face. Insistently crowded and full of people who specialize in noticing all sorts of physical afflictions. Especially the sort that make up the very essence of a vampire's existence. For instance, death. Thankfully, your business here tonight keeps you away from the hectic human hive of the ER. Instead, you follow D'Angelo to a relatively quiet part of the underground parking lot that's closest to your current point of interest, the Kings County morgue. Having found yourself a convenient and suitably unlit spot near the hospital wall, you wait patiently for D'Angelo's contact to appear. Every now and then, you glance over the undead gumshoe, as if to make sure his moldy mug isn't showing any signs of worry. It isn't, or at least he's very good at hiding it. Finally, after 30 minutes or so, a lone figure emerges from a side entrance as the human-shaped shadow walks by. As the human-shaped shadow walks by, you're quick to recognize him as the EMT you saw back at the murder site.
No, Twitch would be a very blatant form of unsafe communication. But the Twitch
so
color...
then we shouldn't expose who we really are, should we, Revan?
I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are.
Exactly. Let's keep it that way.
Exactly. Okay, cool. To answer your question, Kitsune, we are regular humans that are participating in a stream to entertain you, other humans. This is not a feeding opportunity. This is not a way for us to come out to the world about our kind or anything like that. No, not at all. We are not doing some kind of masquerade. We are just regular humans entertaining other fellow humans.
That sounds
Isn't that
like,
right, Revan?
That sounds like something someone from the subreddit are totally not robots would say.
It was not rehearsed at all. It
Hello.
is not a fail-safe
Hello,
condition or
fellow
anything like
humans. How do you do?
that. Hello, fellow humans. I am one of you. I promise.
I too consume this food and liquid.
And it does taste as one would expect it to taste.
It's like Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine when there's that when he's trying to be a straight man and he's jogging with those old ladies in the suburbs, and he's like, yes, my wife passed away, and I've been having trouble. My wife, she had very large breasts. They were just massive, and as you know, as a straight man, I am into breasts. So,
As a straight man. You know what? Good going there with that pop culture reference, Revan. They'll definitely believe that we're one of. I mean, we are human. Yes. Clearly nervous, the 20-something-year-old redhead can't seem to help but look back and make sure no one is following him. Finally, he stops and lights up a cigarette. Without even looking in your direction, he takes a puff and exclaims, seemingly to no one in particular, Room 12...
Oh, I'll read this. Room 112. You got 20 minutes.
D'Angelo speaks without looking at you.
That's our cue.
Follow the fanged detective through the same door the EMT walked out of. Luckily, this wing of the hospital seems unusually empty. Still, the confidence with which D'Angelo makes his way through the white and green corridors makes it clear he's been here before. Finally, he stops in front of one of the doors. Room 112. That's your stop. The room is small, with only one oversized freezer by the wall, and a single slab mounted in its center. Sure enough, the body of a middle-aged man is splayed out on its steel surface. Even for a dead man, he seems unnaturally pale. Extreme blood loss will do that to you. Try as you might, you can't help but look at the man's face. His features twisted in abject horror. This was not a peaceful death. Looking closely, you notice 2 small puncture wounds on the victim's neck. If there ever was a clearer sign of a vampire attack, you've seen it. You've yet to see it. Looking over at D'Angelo, you notice his lips moving in a familiar fashion. He's narrating again. Before he can utter an intelligible word, you cut in with a remark. Sucked dry, just like the last one. Are those teeth marks? What kind of question is that? Sucked dry, just like the last one.
Yeah, I'm guessing you noticed the teeth marks as well.
He points at 2 barely visible marks at the victim's neck.
That giveaway. Fuck.
As if on cue, the door swings open. A tired-looking man with a stethoscope around his neck walks in. With his eyes fixed on this clipboard, he doesn't appear to notice you. Yet. Feeding opportunity means that he gets knocked unconscious, right?
Yeah, you just feed off of him.
Yeah, let's do that. Get him. Letting your instincts take over, you pounce on the unsuspecting doctor, plunging your fangs into his aorta. The precious liquid tastes sickeningly sweet, making you feel a bit lightheaded. It appears the good doctor has been getting high on his own supply.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Ha ha ha. It takes you a moment to get your fill, but when you're finally done, you immediately feel D'Angelo's eyes upon you. You start coming up with an excuse, but he just smirks. Yes, I did something right. Finally, all of today, I've been waiting for someone to be okay with me.
You're good, kid. I'll give you that. Beat me to it by a pube. Now come on, let's get out of here. Time to pay our dear Primogen another visit.
Robert Larson's home looks about the same as last time. No added security, no angry dogs prowling the yard. It appears that the thin-blood Primogen would rather risk another visit from his old pal D'Angelo than to arouse suspicion of his family and neighbors. Which is good, considering that's what he's about to get. Sure enough, the light in Larson's study is on, and you even catch a glimpse of the man himself shuffling around the room. You look over to D'Angelo, wondering how you're going to get Larson's attention this time. Without a single word, D'Angelo walks over to a nearby street lamp, leans against it, making sure he's visible to any and all who happen to look. Looks like the time for subtlety is over. It takes only a couple of minutes for Larson to take notice. You see him lean against the window and storm out of the room. In mere seconds, he's out in front and in D'Angelo's face.
Listen to me, you moldy fuck. I've had just about enough of your shit. You want to pester me? Fine. But leave my family out of it!
For a moment, D'Angelo just stands there, motionless, allowing Larson to get his frustrations out. Suddenly, he grabs a thin bud by the collar, lifts him off the ground, and smashes his back against the lamppost.
Are you finished? Alright. Now you listen to me, and listen good.
I can barely hear you, by the way. Just letting you know.
I'll read that line again.
Yep.
Are you finished? Alright. You listen to me, and you listen good. You think I'm enjoying this? You think I like to be jerked around? You think I got nothing better to do than hang around this little puppet theater you've made for yourself? Now, either you give me a lead I can follow, or I'll start remembering things you'd rather forget.
For the first time since you met him, Larson looks speechless, his eyes wide with fear. He can only mutter under his breath.
You wouldn't dare. Why me?
Cue awkward silence. You stand there, shifting your eyes from one vampire to the other. Guess it's time to either press the advantage or play the good cop. Let's all just calm down. Look, we're all a bit stressed out. How about we all just take a deep breath, figuratively speaking?
Nah, I don't feel like it. I tried being nice, but some people don't appreciate nice. Some people do anything to cover their asses. Isn't that right, Robert?
If you want my help, put me the fuck down.
With his feet back on the ground, Larson straightens his collar in a faint attempt at preserving some shred of dignity.
There's a place in Manhattan, Lower East Side. One of the few places in the city where my people can find shelter.
Yeah, I know it.
If you go there right now, you might find what you're looking for.
D'Angelo stares at him for a moment, just long enough to make it uncomfortable.
We'd better.
Finally, D'Angelo loosens his grip. You both watch Larson limp back to his house, looking back over his shoulder like he's gonna tell the teacher on you. You look to your partner, meaning to ask what the whole things you'd rather forget deal was. As if sensing your curiosity, D'Angelo cuts in with a preemptive mutter.
Come on, we got what we came for.
As you reach the address Larson gave you, you find yourself standing in front of what looks like an old garage. On the outside, the place looks as uninteresting as it gets. You'd think it abandoned, if not for the few barely working lights illuminating its shabby facade. Once you're inside, however, if there was a place worthy of being called a wretched hive of scum and villainy, this is probably it. The room is littered with drunks and crackheads, humans and thin-bloods alike, their minds lost in their cruel little worlds, their bodies splayed out across the floor. D'Angelo leans over and whispers in your ear.
I'll cover the back door. You stay near the front. Let's look around and see what we can find.
You sound like Batman.
It's kind of the point.
Before you can ask exactly what you're supposed to be looking for, D'Angelo disappears into the shadows.
Yep, definitely Batman. Definitely Batman.
Definitely Batman. Look around quietly. Doing your best to blend in with the crowd, which is fairly difficult considering your upright position, you slowly make your way across the large room. Not really knowing what you're looking for, you focus on the details. A knowing smirk, a hateful stare, anything that even looks slightly bit suspicious. After a dozen or so empty stares, you're almost ready to give up when suddenly something catches your eye. A young, skinny woman hunched in the corner of the room. She gives you a bewildered look, a 1,000-yard stare that tells you, beyond a shadow of doubt, it's her. As you walk towards her, D'Angelo emerges from the shadow right next to you.
Nice catch.
He kneels down beside her. You can tell he's trying to sound as comforting as possible, but with a gravely timbre, it's not really working out.
Gravelly.
With his gravelly timbre, it's not really working out.
It's okay. We're not here to hurt you. We just want to talk.
Young, punk, afraid girl.
No, don't talk too loud. Too loud. Too loud. She seems halfway out of it. It's like the lights are on, but whoever's inside is stumbling around after one hell of a bender.
Alright, you like quiet? Got it. Can you tell me your name?
Sana. That's what he called me. Suddenly you hear the door swing open behind you. Even though the night is fairly warm, a cold chill runs down your spine. You look towards the entrance. There's a woman standing there, and something about her just screams kindred. Even though she seems comically overdressed for the situation, somehow you don't feel like cracking a smile. Whoever she is, you can tell she means business. She starts making her way to the back of the room, not making any effort to sidestep any of the junkies and drunks. They all know well enough to get out of her way. Acting out of bravery or sheer stupidity, you walk up to her. She looks at you as if you were something she just scraped off her shoe. You smile nervously without even knowing it. Oh my god, I'm gonna go with this. Hey, what's a girl like you doing in a place like this?
You're gonna pick that one?
Yep.
Alright. You can try flirting with her.
As soon as you open your mouth, her hand shoots out, grabbing you by the throat. The woman looks at you, tilting her head, as if examining a curious species of insect. Suddenly, her eyes shift as she notices something behind you. Her face turns from disgusted curiosity to sheer annoyance.
Okay. She's
You.
Yeah, that's actually good.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Val. That's my assistant you got there. Do you mind?
She rolls her eyes. You feel the grip on your neck.
I'll start reading it here.
Cool.
She rolls her eyes. You feel the grip on your neck loosen, and you awkwardly fall to your feet. She makes her way towards D'Angelo, pushing you aside like a rag doll.
Where is she?
You're gonna have to be a bit more specific, darling.
Don't play coy, Jenny. The manslayer. I know she's here. A blood hunt has begun. By the order of the prince herself, the girl is to meet final death.
Okay, not so...
No?
You sound too, youngish. She's like a
Too
middle-aged...
youngish? Okay.
Yeah, you want to sound more like a middle-aged, like... loud, middle-aged, like... Don't play coy, Jenny. The man, like... But not with the
Don't
pitch.
play coy, Jenny. Oh, like... Don't play coy, Jenny. Like
A
that?
bit more calm, like you're older.
Don't play coy, Jenny. The manslayer. I know she's here. A blood hunt has begun. By the order of the prince herself, the girl is to meet final death. Like
That's
that?
better, yeah. And a blood hunt is basically where it's a punishment, where King Camarilla decides this vampire needs to be killed. It's a death sentence, a blood hunt. And let's say they can't find that vampire. A blood hunt means you track them down and you kill them.
Okay.
Hold your horses, honey. I'm conducting an investigation under the auspices of the sheriff. That counts for something, too. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. So as we are nearing, I'm pretty sure this, because this like the whole D'Angelo arc thing was technically like the beginning when we first started our whatever number night this is. I feel like so far we've gone to like 4 different locations. I feel like this is going to take up the entire night. So like whatever the next night is going to be, might be where we end off. I don't know yet. It might. I was just asking, do you think this interaction is going to take up the entire night? Because so far we've gone to like 4 separate locations.
It might.
Yeah, I think so. It feels like it's a very long, like, scene.
Whenever you're with a coterie companion, assume it's gonna take probably a very
like the whole night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Look, sweetie. No, I can't get her voice right. Can you do that again? What you did
so
before?
It's something more like, look, sweetie, I'm not here for some clit measuring contest, like a sort of a sly...
Look, sweetie, I'm not here for some clit measuring contest. You want to get this ugly? Be my guest. Otherwise, I suggest you step aside and let me do my job.
It's better.
Cool.
By all means.
He steps aside in a comically exaggerated fashion. You look at the corner where you last saw Sana, but find no trace of the girl.
Well, I'll be. I could swear she was just here.
Valerie looks at D'Angelo. She smiles softly, but you can tell she's trying very hard not to rip his head off.
Y'all regret this.
Story of my life.
Without another word, she turns on her heel and storms out. D'Angelo waves his hand in your general direction.
I can
Come
take
on,
over narration.
Sure.
Come on, kid. Let's get out of this shithole.
As you emerge from the said shithole, you feel the cool night breeze caress your face. It's soothing and almost makes you forget how shitty the last few hours have been. Almost.
Okay, kid. I know you got questions, but it's getting early. I don't feel like having a Q&A session right now. For now, you got one question. Make it count.
Oh shit. Okay. Who the hell is this Valerie? Valerie, huh? Who the hell is she?
She's a scourge, kid. Part enforcer, part assassin. All around pain in the ass.
So a scourge is basically an executor. Yep. Not a so sheriff is like her right hand.
It's her guard. It's her personal guard. Someone who's meant to go and deal with the riffraff.
No. So sheriff is like her right hand man. He is the sheriff. His job is to help her out. A scourge is basically, I want you to go kill this person. Her personal assassin, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a guard.
No. It's part of her personal guard. No. I meant it's part of her personal guard, which includes an assassin role. She plays the assassin role.
Yeah.
If she finds that girl before we do, we'll never find out why she did what she did. And before you ask, yes, we've run into each other in the past. No, I don't feel like talking about it. Alright, kid, I don't know about you, but I'm turning in. I'll figure some stuff out and keep looking for our girl. Feel free to swing by the office in a night or two.
Oh, he wants me to wait. With that, he stumbles off into the distance, not even bothering to keep to the shadows. Can't say you blame him. It really has been a rough night. And I frippin' knew it. It didn't take the entire... Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Wow, that was unexpected.
So let's stop here, because it is kind of late now. And we'll pick up... Actually, wait, can we stop? Yeah, we can stop. We should be able to stop here. Yeah.
We can stop here, yeah. I was just gonna say, we could finish the night too, but we could stop here too. It's just fine. It's fair. We have been going for 3 freaking hours, which, you know what? Initially, we decided to do it for an hour, but we went on for 3 hours.
Pretty much, until my lightheadedness kicked in and I realized I gotta eat something.
That is true. You've been playing...
I gotta go feed. Before this, I literally played a VTM session, like an actual tabletop one, and now I'm playing this.
So you've been playing VTM for the last 8 hours straight. You definitely need. Yeah, you've been using too much of your power. You need to go on a feeding spree. I mean, you need to get some human food with human proteins and vitamins and whatever else humans eat.
It's soon. My tabletop session lasted 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Because we covered a lot. Lots of big things happened. But yeah, we might be streaming again tomorrow night, late. Kind of a similar time.
Yep.
And we might also be on Thursday, and who knows, maybe on Friday. Honestly, just tune in whenever.
Maybe on Friday is a huge maybe, but I'm gonna say if it's for tomorrow or Thursday, most probably.
Most likely, yeah.
But thank you again for tuning in, and as always from us from the Holo Tesseract, we greatly appreciate you being here, and tune in next time for more of this gory business.
Bloody gory business. And thanks, Kitsune. All right.
Thanks
Good
for
night.
staying here for
Good-
with us all night.
Yeah, all of you. Good night and good luck.